Michael K. Show on Yes is brought to you by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
And a good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show. Michael, Don, Peter until 6:30. It is Wednesday, April 10th, 2024. So much to do. So much
Wednesday.
to talk about. It's a Would You Wednesday. I don't know if you know that.
I'm aware.
And I put a lot of effort into this. I think there's going to be some good ones. Yeah. I think you guys are going to be surprised. You'll be pleased. And it'll make you think, which is what the show's about.
That's what we're trying to strive to do, is to
Every
think.
day. Make us think.
You know, we exercise our bodies, or at least we should, but do we exercise our minds? Let's ask that question.
I think I do, but I can't speak
Very
for
deep
the two
of you, Don.
Oh, we know Michael does.
What? Exercise his mind?
I did some mind push-ups before I got here today.
I was going to say,
Now, what does that look like?
I was going to say we know he exercises his hands, but his mind, different story.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean. I need more information, more detail, if you will.
It's all in the hands of the beholder.
Oh, is it?
Let's talk Knicks. Let's start off with the Knicks. Big win against the Bulls yesterday. Once again, Brunson is he's having the MVP season. I don't think he's going to win the MVP.
But it's an MVP season.
It's an MVP level season. He's got to be in the top 5. Tell me 5 players that are more valuable to their team than him. You got Jokic, right? He's incredibly valuable. Who else?
Tatum.
Edwards.
And then Brunson gets thrown in.
Has to be.
It's so interesting. I don't know whether it's a New York bias.
Gilgeous Alexander.
That would probably be the next one.
That's a really good one. Because you could say the same for Panarin with the Rangers. You know he's not going to win it because it's just those circumstances. They're just certain guys, the McDavids, the McKinnons, and the Kucherovs, they're going to get more consideration. And it's kind of the same. But if you watch these two teams play, and I look at MVP in all sports is, where would the team be without this guy? So maybe it's not always the best player. It's just what they mean to the team. Can you tell me that anyone means more to their team than Brunson means to the Knicks, especially with Randall being out?
Last 7 games, Don, he's averaging 38 points a game.
Yeah, again, I don't know how good that is because somebody else is going to have to step up. But because once you get to the playoffs, I would think some of these really good defensive teams and good coaches are going to figure out a way to shut them down. Is Anunoby enough to be able to go out there and get points if they hold Jalen just down to, like, say, 25?
It'll be like what UConn did with Zach Edey. Let Jalen get his points, and we'll hold everybody else down.
Because when you're getting those, listen, there's nothing wrong with scoring 25 points a game, Michael. That's outstanding. But for Brunson, that would be almost cutting his production almost in half. So where do the other points come from? But he has just been incredible, and it's captivating to watch. I mean, I was doing the Rangers last night, but we had the Bulls game on, and it's just he's putting on a show every night.
And, you know, they're obviously planning for him every team, and they can't stop him. But we've talked about no Julius Randle, what it's going to mean. Well, there were some things that happened yesterday. Knicks won a game they had to win. The Bucks end up losing Giannis Antetokounmpo. There was some fear that it was an Achilles injury. It turns out the Achilles is intact, and it's just a calf injury. But calf injuries, I've said this forever, they take forever. They take forever, especially in a sport like basketball. In baseball, it takes forever. So you can imagine how long it's going to take for Giannis to get back at full strength. So in all likelihood, the Knicks have a chance to finish with the number 2 seed. So we should be celebrating, right? Well, if you really want to be a rational Knicks fan, I don't know if you want to finish with the 2 seed. I think it's better to finish with the 3 seed. If you finish with the 2 seed, there are 2 teams that you might play that I don't know if you want to play.
That's so
the
true.
Sixers with Embiid back and the Heat. Who are the Heat?
Right.
And you're going to get playoff Jimmy, and you have to go up against Eric Spoelstra. That's in the first round. So do you want to finish second or do you want to finish third?
And the Pacers, who don't play any defense, they just score.
Right.
So that just seems to be the better matchup, right? So
if they finished third, they would. And the season ended right now. They play the Pacers.
Now, it's still very much up in the air because the Sixers are only a game back of the Pacers, and the Heat are right there, too. So they could change. But if the season ended today, and everybody's got, about 3 games left to play.
Yep.
But you definitely would take the Pacers over the Sixers or the Heat.
The Sixers scare me with Embiid. They really do.
Why wouldn't they? Now, the Knicks have beaten them with Embiid, and we're not saying that they can't win, Michael, but...
It's a tougher matchup.
It's a tougher matchup. There's the same conversation I have about the Rangers and the Lightning. I'm not saying the Rangers can't beat the Lightning. I'd pick the Rangers to beat the Lightning, but when you want to try to make a long run, it would probably take 6-7 games to dispose of them, and while Carolina's playing whoever and they sweep in the first round, that's a distinct advantage. So if the Knicks have to play the Sixers, yeah, they can beat them. But what kind of disadvantage is that going to put them in the second round when they probably have to go blow for blow with that team 6-7 games? You won't have to deal with that.
Now, if they finish 4th, they would play the Cavaliers. That's not a matchup I love either, but they beat the Cavaliers. The matchup that I would want the most, and you'll all laugh at me, is Orlando. Orlando's a newbie in this. They have a great player in Banchero, but I think the Knicks handle Orlando. Now, they don't even have the tiebreaker over Orlando, but I believe the Knicks are far better than Orlando.
No, I feel good about the Knicks against anybody, but if you're going to rate the possible first-round opponents, it's very interesting that I think they grade out better the higher you go up in the standings. I think the last team you want to have to play after having a phenomenal season and overcoming everything you had to overcome is having a best-of-7 series with the Miami Heat. Really? Thank you, sir. What did I do? What did I do wrong? When I was talking about a good coach, when I said good coach to figure out a plan to stop Brunson, the person I envisioned was Spoelstra. That's the face that popped into my head when we said good coach. What kind of first-round draw would that be? And that's likely the 8th seed.
See, Miami's so smart because they don't put it all out there on the line during the season because they don't. It doesn't matter where they finish.
Wow.
Because they'll take on anybody and couldn't beat anybody. And then with the Sixers, I don't think that this was any grand plan. Embiid got hurt. So they're not the same team without Joel Embiid. Now he's back, and he's healthy. And the other guys, I think they got better without him because they had to step up their game to just keep their head above water. So the Sixers are in a 7th or 8th seed. They're just not. They're more like a 2 or 3 seed with Embiid.
But what I'll say to you, though, is that it's smart unless you end up losing to the Sixers in the play-in. Then your season's over.
Right.
I mean, it's not ideal to have to go through the extra layer. But if they get out of it, and then you would say next would be the Sixers you wouldn't want to have to play. Well, they're the 7 seed.
Well, if you finish 7th or 8th, this is what you have to gamble with the Heat. Can you win one of 2? You don't want to finish 9th or 10th because then it becomes a 1-game season.
Yeah.
But 7th or 8th, you lose, okay, and then you play the winner of the 9-10 game. I think you've got a good chance if you're Miami to win one of 2.
Yeah. But isn't it strange that the lower the seeding in the conference, the tougher the opponent?
Yeah, because of the injury to Embiid and the fact that Miami paces itself. They got Hero back the other night.
What's that? I'm sorry.
They got Hero back the other night, so they're a good team.
No, they beat the Knicks without Hero last year.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Again, there's a reason you just don't want to play that team. It's just who they are. That is the team that they are. You want to avoid that at all cost.
And I thought they would win last year. I mean, remember I had that little bet with Griffin. I thought they'd run away with it.
You came through, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, no, he sent the hat.
Yeah.
And well, you didn't guarantee it, but you all but guaranteed it.
I all but guaranteed it.
You were all around the bullseye.
Yes. And I'm embarrassed about it.
Well, no, well, you were smart. There was a reason why you didn't actually say the word guarantee. But we knew what you were talking. You were very confident.
Well, I said that after they won the first round series, I said the Knicks are going to the conference finals.
But when we asked you to guarantee it, you wouldn't do it.
I refuse because I'm gutless and I have no guts. That's what gutless is.
that was an interesting.
But you know the
very interesting,
Peter, because I like darts. I'm a big dart guy.
Okay.
So you like darts, really?
You don't? It's fun.
Yeah, you can injure people, take an eye out.
What kind of darts do you play?
Oh, wild darts, it's called.
You know, you've got the green around and then the actual cork, the red. Michael was just hammering around the green. He just did not want to say guarantee because he's smart. But when you say they're moving on to the conference final, you're saying it without saying it.
Well, but then you asked me specifically, you're guaranteeing it. No, I don't guarantee those things. I can't guarantee it. Now, I would guarantee something that I have a role in, but if I have no role in it, why would I guarantee it? Now, I could make it happen if I have a role in it, but I'm not playing for the Heat. I refuse to guarantee things. Patrick Ewing should have never guaranteed things. And you know what? I think it's a mark against his legacy. It became laughable.
It's one of the first things you think of. Isn't that a shame?
Yes, and it's wrong. He shouldn't have done it. And he never learned his lesson. He kept doing it over. You should believe in your team. But
he was hoping that eventually he'd get it right and we'd remember the last one.
Yeah, because everybody wants to be Mark Messier. He guaranteed that Game 7. He ended up winning. So now he's a god.
Right.
But if you guarantee and you lose, you're a clod. It's just a couple of letters off. It rhymes. But do you want to be a god or a clod?
Right or wrong, it's going to be one of the first things you think of, right? Patrick Ewing had an amazing collegiate and NBA career. One of the top 50 players of all time.
Oh, yeah.
First thing you think of is he couldn't nail any of his guarantees. Messier, the first thing you think of is the guarantee.
Yep.
Jim Fossil, first thing you think of is the guarantee. Joe Namath, first thing you think of is the guarantee because they got it right.
It's a new game we're going to be playing. We're working it out now with the Parker Brothers. It's actually going to be a board game too. God or Clod. And I think you really want to be God. You don't want to be Clod.
I never heard Clod before.
You never heard the word Clod?
I don't think so.
Peter, you've experienced Clod, right?
Never have. I've experienced the word, perhaps, but I couldn't define it with a gun to my head. So
Well, you know what? You don't need a gun to your head because we got the little Google here. Definition of Clod. I think it's kind of a goofball.
That's CLOD?
Yep.
like a blood clot.
No.
That's a clot.
Oh. Sorry.
Definition of Clod. Here we go. Clod.
Go ahead.
Person, often used as a general term of abuse. You're an insensitive clod, and I hope you fall and break your neck.
Oh, my God.
That's the example?
That's the example they give?
Yeah.
Is that like Webster's?
It's the dictionary on Google.
Oh.
Michael, I have now caught up and watched the series finale of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Nailed it, didn't he?
It was really good. It really, really, really good. Hit on a multitude of levels. And did you finish yet?
Yes, I did.
And I was so pleased that Richard Lewis is in the last scene.
Yes.
I just thought that was wonderful. And did you guys have the thought, maybe this is obvious, so I apologize if this is like totally obvious and I'm just not that bright?
Probably that.
Is it me, or did they sort of have that? I don't recall any other restaurant scenes with Larry, Jeff, Susie, and Leon. And it seemed interesting to me that in the last episode, they had that scene. I don't know, like the four of them, right? One woman, the three guys, all sitting at like a diner. I thought was super interesting. And Leon, the fact that he was watching the old Seinfelds and it kept coming up, it sort of made me realize there's one moment when, did you guys catch the spot when Leon's like, that Kramer, man, like he's always in your house. Jerry just has to put a revolving door on. I was like, well, Leon is Kramer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That never crossed my mind prior to this.
See, I thought you were going to say you thought it was like the final scene from The Sopranos, where they'd start saying, "Don't stop believing."
No, I just thought it was really there were lots of little things. It wasn't just the obvious court scene at the end, the jail scene. It felt like there were lots of little things.
Oh, I mean, the whole thing mirrored Seinfeld's final episode, as we said, but it ended better because Jerry came and played the hero.
And, of course, they referenced it blatantly, sort of made fun of the fact that the Seinfeld finale wasn't good, even though Larry's fought that tooth and nail. But I think I was hit the most by the Richard Lewis piece of it. I love that he was in the final episode. He made it through the whole season. It was great, man. That season started rough. Me and Michael sat here after weeks 1 and 2 going, I don't know. And he really got that thing back on the tracks. It ended up becoming a great season.
And it also it's not closed. I mean, if he wants to come back, he can come back.
You mean the way the episode ended?
Yeah, it's not closed.
Yeah, but he's done. He's done. He meant it. He didn't do this hoopla for no reason. I have.
No, I think it is done. But if he has an epiphany, and goes, I miss it,
or I want to do one. Let me do a special. Yeah, he absolutely could because essentially nothing happened.
Right. Although that woman is after him and she bought a gun.
That was an interesting thing they threw in there. Yeah.
So I thought then I said, well, he's going to get shot at the end. It's going to be like Dallas.
That's what I thought.
So tell me the truth.
Because it never went anywhere.
Yeah, I did. That did cross my mind too. Exactly. And I was like, where did Richard's girlfriend go? But real quick, prior to this conversation, you guys had openly thought before Leon is Kramer. I had never thought that. And then when Leon started talking about Kramer, I went, oh my God, he showed up in Larry's house and never left.
I never thought of it that way. No. Not
do you see it now, though?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, a lot of people are saying on social media, what a great series that would be, where Leon just breaks down every Seinfeld. And then Jerry's line, they're all on Blu-ray.
Laserdisc.
Yeah.
He looked great, by the way.
He did. Well,
he's aging very well.
Well, yeah, he
let
did.
His hair grow back.
Let it grow back?
Ooh.
It's an interesting way of putting that.
Allegation.
No, I just think he cut it really short.
You're
grow back.
out. Michael,
Wow.
I got to talk to you about the Tooth Fairy. We got to have a conversation.
What, you think that those are plugs, or he's taking medicine?
Go look on Twitter.
Right.
Someone posted back to back. You know how when Fallon has guests, they always post the same sort of look for an image.
Right.
Someone showed like the one from 4 years ago and the one from like 4 months ago. He made a move. Now, I don't know. I can't tell you whether it was surgical or one of the great treatments we have, but a decision was made. I don't think it was let my hair grow out. I don't think he pulled a Don during COVID.
He might have. Don't you?
In the front, people don't let their hair grow out in front. They always
whatever it is, it looked terrific.
He looks He looked 49. He looked amazing.
And if you're looking for something with the Rangers, again, the Rangers get. I don't remember him ever talking. Maybe about hockey a little bit, but never specifically about the Rangers. Last 2 episodes. So something going on.
I love that he referenced the 2004 collapse too.
Yeah. Allison Janney that was a nice get for the girlfriend too. They had some heavy hitters there at the end. That was a good episode.
And Greg Kinnear was great as the lawyer.
Perfect.
And wait, did you already reference the other guy?
Who?
The other guy.
Right before Greg Kinnear?
No, I just said Allison Janney.
And the judge.
Oh yeah, that's right. The
From
judge
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea who he was.
That's unfortunate.
He was the brother-in-law.
Big character.
You know what I have in my hand right now?
If it's something I don't care about,
Peter.
It's tonight's Yankees starting lineup.
Well, it's kind of the same
on
thing.
98.7 ESPN, brought to you by Bigelow Tea and Certapro Painters.
Michael, it serves the same purpose.
Everybody's getting what they want, Don. Everybody's getting what they want. You know who's leading off for the Yankees?
Oh, wait a minute. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
A little Anthony Volpe action?
Well, I don't know if you have to call him Little Anthony. He's not a rock star in the 50s. It's Anthony Volpe, the shortstop.
I wasn't calling him Little. I was calling the action Little.
What? What?
I said Little Volpe action.
Oh. Juan Soto's in right field batting second. Aaron Judge in center field hitting third. Giancarlo Stanton, the DH, will clean up. Batting fifth, first baseman Anthony Rizzo. Gleyber Torres, who has not been hitting, he drops down to the number 6 spot at second base. Alex Verdugo, who started to hit, he's batting seventh and playing left field. John Birdie at third base will bat eighth, and batting ninth and catching, it's Jose Trevino. Marcus Stroman is going to pitch for the Yankees. That's tonight's Yankees starting lineup against the Marlins, brought to you by Bigelow Tea. Bigelow Tea, proud supporter of the Michael K. Show and the official hot tea of the New York Yankees, and Certapro Painters. When choosing a painting professional for your home or business, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose Certapro Painters. Some bad news, though, Don and Peter, for Yankee fans. Some of them I think is bad news. Others, it's not a big deal.
Oh, no.
Game's on Prime today.
Well, who would think it's good news?
Well, people that have Prime.
Yeah, but the people who have Prime probably have Yes.
Right, so it doesn't impact them other than they use a different remote.
So the only people that... So there's no happy. It's just either you're upset or not impacted. That's what I don't understand. Like, why should I be excited it's on Prime?
I don't know. I can't tell you what.
Because if you pulled the plug or whatever, they cut the cord.
Right.
You might have the Yes app.
Right.
So what's the difference? See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Explain it to me. Like, it was like big news. There's an NFL game on Peacock. Well, who cares? Like, who are the people
The
that
people
are
that
excited?
care are the people that don't have it, is what I'm saying. Those are the people that care.
Right, but they make it seem like you should be excited. No one's excited. This is bad news.
Well, I don't know if it's bad.
Well, I know you're in a tough spot. I am in no spot. So I'm going to tell you, when I find out my team's on an app, I'm disappointed. And I can have the app.
But you're still disappointed.
Yeah, of course. It's either a nothing burger or you're disgusted. But when they promote it, they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, did you hear?
Who
It's
promotes
gonna
it
be
like
on
that?
Prime."
Who promotes it like that?
Whenever it said, "Hey, Yankees on Prime,"
Well, you're putting
it
the
should be
exclamation point at the end of the sentence.
lowercase. Then the announcer should always go, "By the way, Yankee game's on Prime."
Yeah, that's a good way to lose your job too.
Well,
if you
who's
do
going
that.
to
You can't.
Who's firing you? Prime?
Yes, and Prime or yes, and Amazon are co-owners of Yes.
Listen, you're Michael K, man.
Yeah, okay.
Swing it.
You do realize that Marv Albert was fired, right?
Oh, you're going to put yourself up with Marv?
No, I'm not.
No,
but that's my point.
No. I don't mean you could put yourself up with Marv. You're an amazing announcer, but you're too well liked. They built a network around you.
Well,
You've got some sway, man.
MSG was built around Marv. Now, the first time he was fired, it was for extenuating circumstances. The next time he was fired, he wasn't positive enough.
So you haven't even gotten to the first firing yet. And
Well,
you're
I
not
hope
gonna-
I don't get to that one.
Right, and you're not going to ever get to that point for the first firing.
As far as you know, I will not.
I got to tell you, there's a lot of things that would shock me. That would shock me more than anything.
If that kind of stuff happened to me.
Yes.
You know what? If it did, it would shock me too. Let's go to the phones. And, you know, if we started with the Knicks, so that means we have to start with Spike. He has been conspicuously absent of late. Spike, what's going on?
That is not true, and you are in the pantheon of great announcers. You're right there with Marv.
Oh, stop.
When I'll tell you, no, I'm going to tell you why.
Please tell me why.
I'm 90% hoops, 10% baseball Yankees. And when Marv Albert's voice was heard, you knew it was an important game. And same for you. You did all those runs of championships, and you're right there, my friend. Trust me. At least in my eyes.
Marvin James.
I'm not even, Peter, I know you're being, funny. I'm not even Marvin Jace, but thank you, Spike.
No, it's the truth. Listen, I speak from having a lot of knowledge of younger people who, when I tell them I know you, it's like, it's just crazy.
But,
anyway.
I mean, but Marv is a national guy who also had the playoffs and finals.
Right.
It's a tough spot. You're being very kind, but it's a tough spot because Marv, it's Marv.
Well, Peter, I'm speaking for myself. I mean, I'm not a national. I live in the New York, New Jersey area, and then now in Florida. So Michael's important to me.
Thank you. You're important to me, Spike.
Wow, that's as close as Spike has ever gotten to Snip.
To hot. I liked it. You know what? I like it. That's a guy defending his guy.
I love you, Spike.
And I love you. I love you all. I've been very fortunate and blessed in my life, and it's a long life, and I'm grateful. So here we go. Are we reliving 1994 again? I asked Anthony on the pre-pickup. He wasn't even alive when the Rangers won. Messier had a hat trick, if I remember, in that one of those games. But then Patrick, when they tore the poster up and he made the guarantees, but he was one of these guys, really, that, his college and pro careers were both tremendous, really. Tremendous guy, just a little irascible or prickly, as you called them last time, Michael. He wasn't, his personality with Mike Jarvis, it goes a long way. But let me tell you what I see. You take the slide rule, the abacus out, looking at the brilliance of the NBA, what they've done with this play-in tournament. If I would have told you 5 years ago the Lakers and Golden State are 9-10 and can still get in, if I would have told you 39-year-old LeBron James has beaten Father Time in my eyes, just look at his stats, and Steph Curry is still great, and the three teams tied almost for the top of the West. And the Knicks, we're talking about who do you want to play? There's only one team I don't want to play. And, Peter, you know how I feel about you. I would rather play Boston than Miami. There's just something.
I get it.
You get it? Something about Wiley, with the facts and going to Greece, and there's a lot of histrionics there. But this Knicks team is special, and maybe Jalen Brunson is the Reggie Jackson of free agents for the Knicks because they play beautiful basketball. One more thing. How does Josh Hart get every loose ball?
Because you know what? He plays hard. He plays hard all the time. And thank you for those kind words. You know, the thing about Marv and everything, I got into what would be construed for us as a fight with Mike Green. So we were texting each other, and I think I made a comment like, you know, the day I die, 2 weeks later, I'll be forgotten. And he said, what's wrong with you? Why do you say stuff like that? I said, that's just the way it is. It's not like I'm going to be like lionized. I'm a guy who did a nice job. I'm not an immortal.
Will you stop it?
It's true. 2 weeks after death, I will not be thought of by anybody but my family.
I don't think.
Come on.
I don't think a month goes by without me thinking about Bob Murphy. You're bigger than Bob Murphy.
No.
Sure.
No.
Sure.
I mean, Michael, you always go
TV.
You always go too far.
Yeah, you've gone too far.
You take a step too far.
Why is that too far?
Because yes, you're not Marv. Okay, fine, but you are a very notable, beloved sportscaster.
2 weeks.
Right.
2 weeks.
Oh, come on.
So in week 3, it'll be Michael who? What?
Right. It's not like they'll miss me. In week 3, I will not be. I might be missed. Well, first of all, I'll probably retire before I die.
Well, you having a separate conversation?
No, I don't know. I hear another voice. I don't
show's not keeping you entertained.
No, it's very entertaining today. And wait till we get to Would You Wednesday.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right, let's take a brief time out. Why talk about terrible things, you know? Although that's most of the show. Anyway, we'll come back. We got a lot to do. The Rangers-Islander game, very, very odd, and a big win for the Islanders, and strange reaction by Peter Laviolette. We'll get to all of it, I promise, right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
The Michael K. Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
What if I told you the next great hybrid technology wasn't for a new car or computer chip, but it was for
the best ribeye every time. Hexclad's hybrid cookware gives you the performance of stainless steel, the durability of cast iron, and the convenience of non-stick. Welcome to the hybrid revolution. Welcome to Hexclad.
It's go time in Brooklyn, and we got grit.
Mikel Bridges has got a highlight.
We got game.
On the Quacks attack.
We got goals.
Schroeder, does he have the hot hand? Yes, sir.
We got Raptors versus Nets. Tonight at 7 on Yes and the Yes app.
Wounded Warrior Project has been with me every step of my journey.
Aaron, how you doing, buddy?
With experiences that help me realize that I'm not alone.
And specialized programs that give me the tools to train my body and mind.
Now, it's possible for me to get back out there.
To get out of my comfort zone and try new things.
To build and be part of a community that supports other warriors.
It's possible to get the help I need for me and my family.
I got my confidence back. I'm setting goals and I'm achieving them.
It's possible to feel understood, whether it's day one or 20 years down the road, they've got your back.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, Wounded Warrior Project is adapting to meet them.
Because when we pull together,
It's possible to go further than you ever imagined.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay and how fast you can get started.
To get more hits out here, start training in here. Introducing Win Reality. Game speed pitches anywhere, anytime. Hands in sync with eyes. Confidence in sync with your progress. Be ready for real. Win Reality.
Taste is not an option. Taste is everything. 1800, the world's most awarded tequila.
Back here for the Michael K. Show. Carlos Rodon getting his first win of the season is brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Rodon called his outing last night a step in the right direction. He also said his confidence is growing, and why not? The veteran left-hander took a shutout into the 7th inning. He helped the Yankees out to a franchise-tying best mark at 10-2 to start the season, and the team hasn't lost a series so far this year as well, after sweeping Houston, taking 2 of 3 from Toronto, and so far the first 2 against the Marlins. Rodon by the numbers last night looks like this. He went 6+, throwing 89 pitches, allowed those 2 unearned runs, so his ERA dropped more than a run, down to a very healthy 1.72. Tonight's game will be on Prime Video with coverage beginning at 6:30, and first pitch is scheduled for a little after 7. Don't forget, after the game, you can catch a full post-game show back on Yes and streaming on the Yes app after our Nets coverage.
By Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Yankees wrap up their series at the Marlins tonight, looking for the sweep. Marcus Stroman's on the mound. First pitch will be at 7:05 on Prime. Mets take on the Braves in Atlanta at 7:20. That's on SNY. And the Nets welcome the Raptors into Brooklyn at 7:30. And that baby is on Yes. That's Game Time, brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Let's take some phone calls. 1-800-919-3776. Tori in Brooklyn. Tori.
Peter, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Quick question. Good. I had 2 quick points. One main thing is about the Knicks, and this is coming from someone that's not a Knicks fan at all, but I was just in a debate with some buddies, and I've been telling them that it's hard to argue that Jalen Brunson hasn't been the best point guard in the NBA this season, because he really doesn't have another. His next best player right now is who? DiVincenzo, who I don't know. Was he picked in the first round? Or Hart, but like they're not all stars at all.
All right, so let's look at some of the point guards. You think he's better than Halliburton?
Right now, yeah, he's playing better than Halliburton. And I'm not saying like over, but I'm saying playing better than. Yeah, I think he's playing better than Halliburton.
You think he's better than Steph Curry?
Right now, yeah.
Luka
Steph
Doncic.
Curry's team is fighting to be in the play-in.
Luka.
Yes. And that's who my friends say. They're saying Luka and SGA are playing better.
Those are the tough ones. Those are the 2 toughest.
How about Lillard?
But I think he's playing better than Lillard. And here's the main reason. He sees all these double teams. Lillard has Giannis, so he's not getting as many double teams. Luka has Kyrie, so he's not seeing as many double teams. SGA has Holmgren and a couple of those other young guys. Who else is there to double on the Knicks besides Jalen Brunson? And once again, I'm not a Knicks fan. Like, I hope they lose. I could care less about them. I'm a Nets fan.
This is what makes this a great call, Don. This is why I'm enjoying it.
Honest.
It's hard to argue that he's been that great. I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong, Tori. I mean, the fact that we can have the discussion tells you how great he's been.
And that's been my whole thing. So so I just want to, at least I can get some credibility that at least the Michael K show agrees with me at that point. And Michael, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I feel like when you're trying to win an MVP like Brunson is, it's almost like trying to become the #1 team in college football when you weren't ranked at the start of the season. Like you're at such a disadvantage because everyone goes in with their preconceived notions of all the other players. So a player like Brunson has to do so much extra work because he wasn't on the radar that early in the season. And if you watch him every day, I think we'd all share the same opinion that he should be up there.
And what was your last point?
And I agree with you, Don. And the last point, and I don't know if you have talked about this before. I was busy, so I didn't listen yesterday. But the whole thing with Ohtani, with that baseball with the fans, how is he getting away with this? Like, how is that okay? And how is that even allowed? Like, I don't understand how that's more of an uproar.
I think that was more, from what I know of it, and I'm not really totally immersed in it, Tori, that's more of a Dodger thing. And you could get away with anything if you can't get questioned about anything. He doesn't get questioned about anything. He has carte blanche to do what he wants. There are no ramifications, nothing. He does not get questioned. I was thinking about this, and we talked about this a lot the other day. Every big player in baseball, every star, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Aaron Judge, you name the biggest stars, Ronald Acuna Jr., Mike Trout, every one of them should say, we're not talking to the media. Then we'll see if Major League Baseball actually steps up and goes, well, it's part of people's contract. You have to talk to me. Then why isn't it being enforced with Ohtani? Why do I have to spend my time talking to the media if he doesn't? And you know how I feel. Everybody should talk to the media because, in essence, that's how you talk to the fans. The fact that one guy gets away with it, every other big star in baseball should draw a line in the sand. If he's not talking, we're not talking. And then Major League Baseball, who will not be getting any publicity for their stars, they'll finally wake up and they'll force Ohtani to talk. It's not that hard to answer questions, unless you don't have good answers.
Well, he's also going to play the whole, because of the interpreter.
Yeah, but you know what? Matsui answer every day.
I know. Michael, you're 100% right, but if the Dodgers have his back, what are you supposed to do?
Well, that's when Major League Baseball has to step in. He has to talk. He has to answer questions. I mean, forget about the gambling aspect. Forget about it. But it's hard to forget about that because that's a major, major point. How about as a player? What pitch did you hit?
But what could you do? Fine him? I'm sure that there's only so much money you can fine him per game, and the money he's making, and the Dodgers would probably have his back anyway.
But then every player that I name makes big money, and then they all could say, I'm not talking. I mean, what's going to stop these great players from saying, I'm not talking? You think these guys love talking to the media?
No.
So that one guy gets away with it, nobody else does? It's insane. Peter, you have a choice. Right now, on a team right now, who's your point guard? Gilgeous Alexander, Doncic, or Brunson?
It's probably Doncic for me. I think he's the ultimate superstar of that group. I have more proof of it over a longer period of time. But I think it is a fair argument for anyone.
But see, we get caught in that when you're talking about the MVP, should the past matter? Should age matter? Should reputation matter? Or in that moment, who's the most important player?
I'll tell you what, Doncic is pretty important. Gilgeous Alexander is pretty important.
No, they're all of it because they play an important position. And all those teams are where they are because of the play of those players. And again, we're going to be biased because we see Brunson every day. But, my God, every single night, Michael, he's carrying this team, a wounded team, not just to the finish line, but maybe to the 2 seed in the conference.
It's amazing. He's been amazing. And we've had this discussion before. In the history of New York sports, name a better free agent signing. Reggie was great. Catfish was great. Name a better one than this.
Well, the only one right now that's in the ballpark is Panarin. Because he's 4th in the league in scoring, and you could say the same about him, what he's done for the Rangers and his 116 points. But the difference is there's other stars around Panarin. What do the Knicks have? Who's the Knicks Zibanejad or Kreider or Fox or Trocheck? We're talking about DiVincenzo. He wasn't even here 5 minutes ago. Same thing with Hartenstein. I mean, we didn't look at these guys as saviors when the season started, and they've all been elevated. Hart, we knew what he could do when they traded for him last year, but not to this level. But really, none of those guys are stars.
Well, how about the history of New York sports?
Well, then you're talking Adam Graves, because his numbers in the Raptors.
Reggie. CeCe.
Oh, well, I came up with my list off the air.
Mm-hmm.
They call it the D list that they put up on social media.
D for Don.
Yeah, that's right. Not D for significance, although there is confusion. You know who I had number one?
Who?
Kevin Mawai.
Well, you know what? It's hard to argue. He had a great career.
Hall of Famer. He doesn't go to the Hall of Fame based on what he did in Seattle before he got here. He didn't even go to a Pro Bowl. All of his Pro Bowls were with the Jets, but that's not sexy. He was a center. It's an offensive lineman.
Curtis Martin's a good free agent.
Yeah, Curtis Martin would be up there too. But we're looking at, and let's see what happens in the postseason. Same thing with Panarin too, because if they fall on their face in the postseason, it's not going to age very well. But right now, I mean, when I came up with the top five, Michael, it wasn't in the sense of the best, because Carlos Beltran was terrific.
Yep.
But exceeding expectations. Like, I don't think any Knick fan in the world thought they'd get this from Brunson when they signed him.
I don't think the Knicks thought it.
You know, so that's what makes it so special. I mean, Panarin, maybe he's exceeded expectations, but not to the level that Brunson has.
And also, if you want to argue about the Luka stuff, Luka's not your traditional point guard. Brunson is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because for a lot, you know, Kyrie's handling the ball too. Luka's kind of like a hybrid. I mean, he's considered a point guard, but is he really a point guard? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a point guard. John Moran, if he's healthy, has to be considered. He's great. Trae Young is great.
Wasn't that long ago? The Knicks didn't have a point guard. It was a dark, black hole of trying to find somebody to play that position. Now they have somebody to play that position that's among the best in the league.
Amazing, and he's underpaid. Let's go to Mark in Charlotte. Mark.
Hey, fellas, how's it hanging?
Mark.
Very well.
All right, Mark, you're done, and it's ugly the way you were done, and I don't like the fact that you just slowed the show down. It sickens me.
Well, this was a really good start to the show. I'm not going to allow him to mess with it.
Anthony in Jersey City. Anthony.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
You got it.
I have one quick Yankee point, and then I also have a would you for you, Michael, so I can kick off Would You Wednesday.
Okay.
The point that I want to make is really just watching this Yankees team. The thing that I feel like I'm most impressed with, and the biggest Soto effect, I guess, is how they're able to extend innings. Like the amount of times that I've seen 2 out, walks, hits, RBIs. Like I'm looking on Baseball Reference right now. The Yankees have scored 19 RBIs in 12 games with 2 outs. And a lot of times it's like Soto comes up with 2 outs. It's almost a 50% chance that you're going to get to Judge. So it just seems like a way different feel and mentality for this whole team, and I think that starts with Soto.
I agree. He's been everything you wanted and much, much more.
All right, so to my would you. So this is more like a would you rather, not. So let's say you have to choose one of these, right? So would you rather have to kill a chicken every time you go into your car? So everybody will see it. Also, if you're in public, people will see you killing this chicken, and you have to do it every single time you step into your car.
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather fight an orangutan to the death once a year?
Chicken.
You got to go with the chicken.
I mean, I can't beat an orangutan. And I love chicken, so I'll make chicken cutlets out of it.
Right, you make it work.
Neither's ideal, because I think at some point you'll get arrested for all the chickens that you're killing just to get into your car.
And then I wouldn't get in my car. I would go around it.
Right, you have alternatives, but I got to fight an orangutan to the death every year?
Right, as I get old, I'll be dead when I'm 70.
I don't think I'd make it the first one. You've seen the stories about these.
They'll rip your face off.
These apes, yeah. That was imaginative. It was dark, scary.
Well, I've got some coming up in just a moment, but Peter, why don't you take us out?
The Michael K. Show on Yes is brought to you in part by Bigelow Tea, who encourages you to grab a mug and tea proudly.
It's amazing to think that my grandmother started Bigelow Tea right here in New York. And today, we're still a family company. And you have to remember, tea, that's all we do. So every cup counts. That means never compromising. My family won't let that happen. And our extended family, they give their all every single day. And our community, well, they expect that. I want a cup of Bigelow Tea to be a moment just for you. That's what I hope for.
We all want to feel safe when traveling. That's why if you see something that feels suspicious, such as an abandoned bag or erratic behavior from a passenger, just call 911. You can call anonymously, and it's okay if it turns out to be nothing. Work together with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to keep our transportation facilities safe. Visit PANYNJ.gov to learn more.
On FanDuel Casino, you can play hundreds of games, like Buffalo, Fort Knox Cleopatra, Rich Little Piggies, and more. And you'll get up to $1,000 back in casino bonus on any first day net loss. That's what you get with the #1 rated casino app. Sign up for FanDuel Casino and get up to $1,000 back to play it again.
It's going to feel like home. It's going to be electric.
This is the Yankees flexing their muscles.
He has the right demeanor.
The expectation is to win a championship.
This is the Yankees being the Yankees.
1 in 6 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime, and we're more than twice as likely to die from the disease.
But when it's caught early, it's highly treatable.
For more than 30 years, PCF has funded cutting-edge research, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org/knowyourrisk today to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself.
It's your health. It's your life.
Deciding who to vote for is important. There are people, organizations, and foreign adversaries trying to trip us up, manipulate our views, and redirect or even discourage our vote. Whether it's bogus claims designed to stop us from voting or convincing digital fakes trying to sway our opinions, we all need to double-check our facts. Watch out for phrases that frequently accompany political disinformation like, make this go viral, or conspiratorial statements like, the media won't cover this. It's your vote, not theirs. Use it wisely. Be informed, not misled.
For years, one company has battled to deliver business products the next day with no freight charges. Now, WB Mason, with their famous fleet of trucks and drivers, faces their biggest challenge, rescuing shipping and packaging buyers from expensive freight charges. That's right. Now, boxes, stretch film, and packaging tape are delivered the very next day at amazingly low prices. So, who do you call for fast delivery and no expensive freight charges? Who but WB Mason?
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
You know, when I take the bike out like this, all my stresses just melt away.
I hear that. This bad boy can fix anything.
Yep, tough day at work. Nice cruiser sorts you right out.
When I'm riding, I'm not even thinking about my painful cavity.
Oh, you shouldn't ignore that.
And every time I get stressed about having to pay my bills, I just hop on the bike, man.
Oh, come on, man. You gotta pay your bills.
You don't have to worry about anything when you're protected by America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
Well, you definitely do. Those things aren't related, so...
Oh, that is a vibrating pain.
Attention Yankee fans, Michael K here. This season on Prime, Amazon Prime members get access to watch exclusive Yankee games all year long, included with their Prime membership. To watch, click on the Prime Video app on your smart TV, phone, or computer, sign in, and you're all set. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. To see the full schedule, scan the QR code here or go to amazon.com/Yankees. It's that easy.
You know what's brilliant? Boring. Think about it. Boring is the unsung catalyst for bold. What straps bold to a rocket and hurtles it into space? Boring does.
Great job, Astro persons. Over.
Boring is the jumping off point for all the unboring things we do.
Boring makes vacations happen, early retirement's possible, and startups start up.
Because it's smart, dependable, and steady. All words you want from your bank. Taking chances is for skateboarding and gas station sushi, not banking. That's why PNC Bank strives to be boring with your money. The pragmatic, calculated kind of boring.
Moving to Boca?
Boring.
That was a dolphin, right?
It's simple, really. For nearly 160 years, PNC Bank has had one goal: to be brilliantly boring with your money, so you can be happily fulfilled with your life. Which is pretty unboring if you think about it.
Thank you, boring.
Chime. It's the Would Ya Game.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. We got a lot of good ones. Don and Peter, would you rather be really great at sports, maybe even a professional sports athlete, and just completely ugly, or be really handsome and not good at sports?
No, I'd be good at sports. I enjoy sports. It'd be fun.
But you'd be so ugly.
Well, it depends how Don feels about his looks now. You know, if you already don't feel great about your looks.
I'm a decent sort, I think.
How ugly are we talking about?
Like really ugly.
Hideous.
I don't want to name a person.
Give a name.
I'm naming somebody. George Mirasan.
Name someone at the radio station.
Mirasan.
Name somebody at the radio station? That's not right.
We have a pretty good looking radio show.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
We actually do.
Who would be in the conversation? Like, we already say no that, Rick DiPietro's good looking, Alan Hahn's good looking.
Bart's good looking.
I think Gordon's underrated, handsome.
See how you derailed the whole thing, Peter? Now we're off of Would Ya, and we're talking about how people at the station are good looking.
Sorry.
So answer the question.
You'd be like really ugly?
Yeah. Like Sam Cassell ugly.
But Sam Cassell's not ugly.
Yeah, he was not good.
He was pretty bad, but he made it work.
George Foster.
He made it work.
George Foster.
No, what about what's his face?
Foster, if he just shaved the sideburns, he would have been fine.
Now, this is the last one, but what about the guy, the what's his face, from the Bullets, who looks like an alien? He was on the Wizards, early 2000s.
Can't you just say he's fugly, okay? So, you're great at sports and fugly, or handsome and not.
Don, Google ugliest basketball players.
Oh, my goodness.
So, I will say, If it means professional athlete, I will go with that. But hold on. What level professional? I have to be star athlete. It has to be enough. Don, it has to be enough that the athleticism compensates for the looks.
You're off the bench on a good NBA team.
Nah, I'll go with good looking.
Would you rather hit the the rewind button? Would you rather have a rewind button for your life or a pause button?
I feel like I've heard this one before.
I never used it.
Peter.
We've had this conversation.
I'm rewinding.
I would rather.
But remember, if you rewind to like when your dad's alive, Don, then your children aren't here.
Didn't he do this one with us exactly. already? You're so lazy. You're such an embarrassment.
Well, that was strong.
You know what? Coming from you, that hurts because you know lazy and embarrassing.
That's a Chrissy. Thank you very much. I'd still go with. I'd go with pause. I'd go with pause. I want to take this moment right now.
All right. In a crisis, would you rather be the one who makes the decisions or follow someone else's lead?
Yeah, you'd like to think that you'd want to make the decision, but that's a lot on you. Because if you're wrong, I think I'd lay out.
You want to follow?
Yeah. I'm being honest. Do you want that kind of guilt if you end up going down the wrong hallway?
Yeah, but what if you follow somebody who doesn't care about the guilt and sends you down the wrong hallway?
Somebody else to blame.
But then you'd be dead.
No, I'm going for myself. I trust myself. I'm going to be John McClane.
All right, so here's another looks one. Would you rather be really good looking and a colossal bore, or just average looking and really funny and everybody thinks you're the best?
I got to tell you, the latter gets the women.
I think good looking gets the women too.
No.
I
I've
seen some really handsome men with beautiful women in there. I wouldn't want to spend a second with these guys.
Yeah, but you know what? I find there's more examples of somebody that is funny and charming and has a personality doing better than the opposite. I think women are attracted to other things besides the physical look.
It's not fair to ask Peter because he is the latter.
Every sitcom ever made, we always said, like, how do they make that work? Right?
I just fired a Scud hurtful missile.
I've heard it so many times.
All right, this is a tough one. I've got to set it up the right way.
Were we talking about Popeye Jones, Peter?
Yes, thank you. Popeye Jones.
Would you rather have a relationship with your wife's best friend?
Always with this stuff.
And you get $250 million. Your wife never finds out. You know, and her friend knows. You get $250 million. Or not have a relationship with your wife's best friend, and you don't get $250.
I'm going to go with the latter, Michael. It's the only answer.
No, it's not. I would take the $250.
I can't. The guilt would just kill me.
Stop it. $250 gets over a lot of guilt. $250 million.
But it's double the guilt. It's actually triple. Not only did I cheat on my wife, I cheated on my wife with her best friend. I made $250 million and didn't tell her about it. But I couldn't live with that guilt.
No. You'll be able to spend the money on her, make her life better.
But I can't tell her I have this money, and I can't.
No. You can tell her you have the money.
But
you can't tell her where you got it.
But it's still, you're still double down on cheating.
No. You can say, listen, we really hit a lot of bonuses at ESPN. I'm doing well.
But I know. I'll know.
Oh, so what if you know?
Because I'm just telling you, that's what guilt is. I would know, and it would bother me.
Well, wouldn't you have guilt if you didn't take the $250 and set your kids up for life? All you have to do is sleep with somebody. What's wrong with you? It's just a physical act.
Peter, I gave my answer.
I sort of checked out.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm getting overwhelmed with a lot of other stuff. I'm in and out, guys. I'm just being
sorry.
honest. No, don't be.
But I know Peter, and he would agree with me.
No. It was about. All I know was it was something about hooking up with your wife's friend. I know the answer is no. I'm not doing that.
No. You didn't hear all of it. If you're not going to play, then just duck out because it's not just that. I didn't say hooking up with your wife's friend. I said, would you hook up with your wife's best friend and get $250 million? Your wife would never know. Only her friend and you would know.
And that's enough. I couldn't do it.
No, okay,
that's the whole
jerks.
thing. You wouldn't do it.
I would do it. I absolutely would do it.
Hold on.
$250 million?
But if your wife held hands with someone on a business trip, you'd kick her to the curb.
But that would be if I found out. She would never find out. I said that's part of the thing. She'd never find out.
Let me tell you something. It's not what you want. You would live in with it let me tell you, $250 million is not worth the feeling that you would have, if you're a good person, when you, your wife, and the best friend are hanging out.
Yeah, so what?
So what?
You deal with it. You deal with it.
So what?
You might disagree, but you can't understand where we're coming from.
No, you're both stooges, clods. Every man out there would do the same thing. I mean, you're so virtuous. First of all, I'm not doing Would You Wednesday anymore because you're both liars. You will not say what you really feel because you don't want people to think poorly of you. I'm the only one who's honest here. Every man out there, even if they're happily married, would sleep with their wife's best friend to get $250 million, and your wife would never know. She would never be hurt. All you'd have to deal with is your guilt.
Yeah, well, I've done it before. Not a great time. No. I'm gonna go ahead and live my regular, mundane, decent Upper West Side life, Don, and live guilt-free. I live with no guilt. It's the best life to live.
You live without $250 million, too.
Who cares?
I'm doing it now.
You know what? When you do this might be point God. When you do something that requires a ton of guilt, like, Don, you do something horrible, you would throw $250 million at it to fix it, but you can't. Because it already happened.
What guilt is it? Your wife would never know.
But that's how all cheating works. There are people listening right now.
The guilt isn't the thing that bothers you with cheating. It's the chance that you'll get caught.
No, you're saying that. I didn't say that. You said that, as an SNL skit once said.
So you think
sometimes Michael accidentally just opens the curtains to his soul, Don, and he just lets you look right in, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah, you know what? And it's real, not phony like you two. Do your bat fitter ad. You sicken me.
Is that me or Don?
It's you. Well, the second annual DiPietro and Rothenberg pregame party is coming up on Thursday, May 2nd. Come out to see the live broadcast starting at 6 a.m. from Publicans in Manhasset, just steps away from Manhasset Station on the LIRR, where after the show, the crew will take the train to Citi Field for the matinee game against the Cubs. It's the pregame party with Rick and Dave on Thursday, May 2nd. It's brought to you by Montauk Brewing Company, Come As You Are, and by Zing Zang, America's favorite Bloody Mary brand. Now it's even easier to enjoy a Bloody Mary with their pre-mixed cocktails available in convenient cans and party-sized bottles. Just open, pour, and enjoy. Please Zing Zang responsibly. Well, the Knicks are playing the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yes.
And a guy who we love, and he loves us, but he doesn't love Don as much as Don loves him, is Andrew Gunling, tried and true, Philadelphia. And we have him joining us right now to break down the series. Andrew, what's up?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. How you feeling about this?
Well, it's a Sixers series in the playoffs, so it's impossible to feel good. But excited, and also, I should say, really excited that Sixers-Knicks feels like it's a playoff series that should happen more often. I don't think it's happened since 88 or 89, and I feel like this is right. Like, I feel like these teams should be playing in the postseason more often. It's a fun rivalry, and it's a shame that we haven't seen it more at this stage.
1989. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Well, the Knicks have been terrible for a long time.
Yeah, the Knicks had a hand in that, certainly. But the Sixers had the process years and the pre-Iverson years, so they can never be good at the same time. It's a little bit of like Mets-Philly in that way, as far as the rivalries go.
So do you believe that Embiid is close to 100%?
Not really. Not really. I thought that this could be perfect for them. Like, the injury that he suffered midseason, this could maybe serve as him kind of getting a rest in the middle of the year, as opposed to what's been the case in the past for him, where he's just worn out and gets hurt again in the postseason. I kind of thought, okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, that's an indication right there.
Oh, no. He boomed on us.
Knicks now in 5.
You taking Knicks in 5 now?
Knicks in 5. That's a bad omen.
No, because I've had it.
It's a bad omen.
It's not what
we
you
can still
want.
have the conversation with Andrew Drop. Yeah, Andrew, anything else you want to say to us in drops, at least?
I will fight you after this round.
All right, fair enough.
Wow.
But why?
You think, he's been out of work a while. That they probably just stopped his service there?
Oh, my
that's
God.
a terrible thing to say.
Because
The problem was there was just too much reality in that statement. It's not right.
Yeah.
He's back now, so he's got it back.
I hope you didn't.
Andrew, as you were saying.
Andrew suggested you... And Michael suggested you haven't been able to pay your phone bills. What say you?
Well, I can do that, but I have no landline. Do people have landlines?
I do.
I
proudly have one.
Very proud.
I'm sorry. This is all I can do. Do I think Embiid is healthy? I think is the last thing he said.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I thought maybe he would be, and then the injury at the end of the regular season was kind of a brutal blow right before the playoffs, and then the Heat game the other night was going to be the test to see, okay, is he or isn't he? And man, I know that he was great in the fourth quarter, and that was really cool, but that version of Embiid looked an awful lot like previous postseason versions of Embiid where he's not healthy, and scares me because they're only going to go as far as he will allow them to go.
You know, I've had this theory on why the Knicks are not as appreciated outside of New York as they should be, and I thought maybe it's because they're the one team that goes all out every night, the one team that actually honors the regular season, where a lot of teams have load management and don't pay as close attention to the regular season as the Knicks do. As somebody on the outside looking in, do you agree with that, or do you think the Knicks are legitimately the second best team in the conference?
Well, the second best team in the conference is tough to say. They're legitimate. And by the way, I should tell you that, like, among my group of friends and, you know, other people in Philadelphia whose opinions I respect, the Knicks are, like, no one is looking past this series in Philadelphia. Everyone is like, this is going to be a war. This feels like 6 or 7 games. Feels kind of like a toss-up. So, you know, the idea that the Knicks, I know you didn't use these words, but, like, they're definitely respected outside of New York. At least that's been my experience with them. As far as why, if it's because they go all out every night, I don't know. You know, the fact that Julius Randle is hurt, I know there are some people in New York that think they're better off without him, but their ceiling is probably lower. Like, in the playoffs, when teams can scheme over the course of 7 games to try to limit Brunson, it helps to have another guy who can maybe score 30. So I think, you know, that could have something to do with it, that there's not another player of that level. But I don't know. I kind of disagree with your premise a little bit, that maybe there's a lack of respect for them outside of New York. But everyone I know takes them seriously.
Well, the reason I say that is because they were actually a dog in this series.
So they were initially, but that's changed, right? I think I saw like the odds.
Yeah, the Knicks have creeped. The Knicks have moved ahead.
And by the way, that's a compliment to the Knicks. The Sixers are 32-8 with Embiid in the lineup this year. Like, there's a good chance if Embiid had a normal season, the Sixers would be the 2 seed. So I think the fact that Embiid is back, now there's questions about his health, but he's playing. So the fact that they're actually even with the team that was 32-8 over 40 games with Embiid in the lineup, I think that actually kind of does show that there's some respect for the Knicks.
All right, make a pick.
Boy, I feel like such a loser doing this, but my friends and I, we had the group text going earlier today, and we were making our picks, and I said, I think it's the Knicks. The Embiid thing just scares me. Like I said, the version that I saw of him the other night, it just looks like other postseasons of Embiid not being himself. And, you know, Tom Thibodeau is such a great defensive coach that even under the best of circumstances, I'd worry about what he could scheme against Embiid over a 7-game series. And these don't feel like the best of circumstances. I think Embiid is like 65 to 75% healthy. I don't like that. I think Knicks in 7.
Now, these friends that you're texting with, are those the guys that you spooned with when you guys went on the road trip?
Yep, the very same. That's right.
Now, can we finally put to bed, speaking of spooning, put to bed this one thing? Don thinks he loves you and it's unrequited love, and he doesn't care. He doesn't think you like him at all. What's the story?
Why he thinks that.
But I never said that.
I don't understand.
I said it doesn't matter. I hope you care for me, but whenever Michael brings that up, I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to love you the same. I appreciate that you care about me. I never doubted it. I'm just saying that if you don't, I'm not going to change how I feel about you.
Strong.
You've created this narrative over years. I don't know why. I don't know what it spawned from, other than me yelling at you that one day after the Eagles tanked against Washington.
We have that. Can we hear that, Peter?
Oh, yeah. Already, Don, it was embarrassing.
Sounds
don't
like
scream at me on the show.
Sounds like hate to me.
Well, you know,
I hated that day. Of all the days that I worked there, that was one of my least favorite. I went home. I felt terrible. I hated that whole day.
Well, of course, things weren't made better, Andrew, when they found out that me and you went out to dinner and Michael and Don were.
Yeah, we need to get to the bottom of it.
We weren't even asked, Andrew. We weren't even asked.
Yeah, Peter, how did that happen?
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened.
It's on Peter. It's not on you. That's why I don't have a hold of any ill will toward you. I hold it toward Peter, and I continue to hold it toward
Andrew,
him.
can you try to help me out here? We had dinner plans on a day when neither Michael nor Don were in the city, and they acted as if it still sort of required an invite. And to me, knowing them, without their intimidation, You know as well as I do, Andrew, while, yes, I should have asked for the sake of asking,
yes,
the prospect of them coming in is a ludicrous idea.
Don, do I live in Texas that I wouldn't drive into Manhattan?
Let Andrew answer. Let Andrew answer.
So, first of all, I can't ignore the intimidation factor. I mean, that is part of it. I mean, look, like, I get what you're saying, Peter, but I think that there is something to them just wanting to be able to decide for themselves.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew.
I know.
So, that's maybe they would have chosen a different day to work from home. That day, maybe they would have said, okay, we'll plan around this. I don't know that that's true. That might be giving all of us too much credit for this dinner. But
I would drive in for you, Andrew.
But I think, is it on the table? Everything Peter said is correct on why he probably didn't send the invite, but I'm just wondering deep down inside, was Peter like, I really don't want them here?
Right.
At no point was that was never communicated at any point that anyone felt that way.
Now, all right, but was this communicated? No. Did you send an invite to Don and Michael? Was that ever communicated?
No, I don't know that it was.
Interesting. That's it. Look, Michael, it's all just evidence, right? I'm not ready to come to any conclusions, but we're compiling evidence.
Let the jury decide.
Yeah, we're compiling evidence, and it doesn't look good, guys.
Andrew, I hope you enjoyed the Sixers-Knicks series.
He won't. He won't enjoy a second.
Thank you.
You won't enjoy a second, will you?
No, because he's a fan, so he's going to be nervous.
No.
And
are you going to go to any games?
At this point, no. Wasn't planning on it.
You probably got a better.
If you were still producing this show, you would have gotten a press pass.
Yeah, that's true. Although that is not when you're. I don't know. Is that a fun way to watch a playoff game? I'm not sure. Kind of rather just be at home or with my friends or. I don't
Sound
know.
like Aaron Boone.
I'm sure.
That's exactly what Aaron Boone said.
Aaron Boone said he would not be able to be in control. He has to be home.
Yeah.
He might. You know,
No,
you
but
should
I'm
get
not-
him on your
not
text
planning
thread
it.
because he's a big Sixer fan.
Yeah, we tried that once with the Eagles. He was really dismissive of that. He didn't seem like he really wanted any part of it.
Interesting. Andrew, love talking to you. Hope you're doing well.
Same to you guys. Thanks for having me.
The great Andrew Gunling, our former producer here on TMKS.
Oh, yeah.
Peter, why don't you tell us about FanDuel?
Don't tell me what to do.
Do it.
Is it?
Growing up, I always wanted to do so many things.
I wanted to be a vet.
I wanted to be an actor. When I was really little, I don't know why, but I wanted to be a pastor. When I was like a small child.
I wanted to be a celebrity, like by any means necessary.
This is Spike Drop Vegas Heist.
These players, they're playing for a lot of money today.
I'm only here for a 2P. I don't really care about any other place.
My dad is a gamer.
My dad.
My brother.
My mom.
My grandmother.
My dad's a big gamer, still is. People will either like me or they will hate me, and I think that's fine. I'm okay with that.
I can't even comprehend what is going on, but I like it.
New season, new reasons to say yes.
This is star power.
Wow.
Cole dials it up. What a home run for Soto. Aaron Judge crushes one.
Get all the Yankees action. The Yes app.
Lung cancer? Choose the right law firm by asking, what are your highest verdicts? What experience do you have? How many lawyers are on staff? How many clients have you represented? Speak to Whites and Luxembourg at 800-LAW-6789 to get unmatched answers. It's the biggest financial decision of your life. Call 800-LAW-6789 or visit misowin.com.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Can you feel it? Mustang Mach-E. Feel something electric. For a limited time, lease a Mach-E for $399 a month for 36 months and receive a complimentary Ford connected charge station.
It's the Yankees starting lineup.
Here we go.
Brought to you by Bigelow Tea and CertaPro Painters. Yankees tied with the best record in baseball. And Anthony Volpe is going to lead off. Play short. Juan Soto in right, bat second. Hitting third, center fielder Aaron Judge. Cleanup, DH, Giancarlo Stanton. Anthony Rizzo at first. He's going to bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing second base, Gleyber Torres. Alex Verdugo. They call him Dukes. He's in left field, batting seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Jose Trevino. Batting ninth and playing third base, Oswaldo Cabrera. Clark Schmidt on the mound. Peter, I want to tell you this.
What?
So Jose Trevino came up to me in the clubhouse in Toronto, and he saw that we had those 3 wrestling guests on. He said, "Are you a big wrestling fan?" Because I love wrestling. I said, "Unfortunately, I'm not, but Peter is." He goes, "Oh, okay," and he walked away. But he definitely wanted to talk about it, and I didn't have the arsenal for it.
Well, it's unfortunate that he doesn't. At least you should have said.
Should I give you your number?
No, but you could have said, "Have you heard of the Cheap Heat podcast?" It's
Which is available now wherever you get podcasts.
Should be ingrained in your head by now.
And by the way, today I went on and promoted it on Busted Open with one Dave LaGreca.
Oh, how'd that go?
Oh, it was great. It was there was a touching moment. I thought it was touching. Dave no-sold it, as we say, but I thought it was a touching moment.
Tell us.
Well, Dave was telling a story to his the co-host he had today, Thunder Rosa, and Nick Nemeth, a.k.a. Dolph Ziggler, about him wearing the pink robe to WWE World. And he said, "Be honest, Peter, was my brother embarrassed? What the hell is wrong with me?" when he saw me wearing the pink robe to WWE World. To which I wanted to say, well, my brain, I thought that, but I don't think your brother did. What I said was, I'm going to be honest with you, Dave. I said, the only thing I can say about what your brother thinks about you is that he is undyingly proud of everything that you do.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that.
I said he never stopped showing off about how successful you are. I said, frankly, sometimes it's annoying. It's like he forgets that I also do a wrestling podcast. But no, honestly, I thought it was actually, I'd like for you to hear it, because I did really get in there. I tried to pull tears out of it. He kind of played it off. It was like, But
Dave is not an emotional guy. Don's never seen him cry.
Is that right?
Oh, he gets emotional. It gets over the top. Michael, I listened to a little bit of the show because I wanted to catch Peter when I was in the car, but I just missed it. He's in fifth gear the entire show.
Runs in the family.
Don doesn't play in fifth gear all day. He comes and goes.
If you listened to my brother's show, you would have a completely different vibe about me.
Okay.
He's much more insane, is what he's saying.
Well, let me close out this.
Sorry.
Yankees starting lineup.
Thank
Brought to you by Bigelow Tea. Bigelow Tea is a proud supporter of the Michael K. Show and the official hot tea of the New York Yankees and CertaPro Painters. Sure. When choosing a painting professional for your home or business, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. Would your brother save you if you were in trouble financially, you think, Don?
Yeah, why wouldn't he?
I don't know. Would you save him?
Of course. We're family.
Well, a lot of families hate each other.
Yeah, but I can't speak for those families. I'm sure your sister would save you and vice versa.
Oh, I'd do anything for my sister. No, nicest person I've ever met. But you broke Dave's leg.
You know what's so interesting?
I thought I confused it and said he broke your leg.
No. Don broke his leg.
Apologies.
Couldn't break my leg with a bat. Now, but Peter, did you notice what he said there? I'll do anything for my sister. She's a nice person.
The greatest person I've ever met.
But that doesn't matter. If David was a piece of garbage, he's my brother. I'd have to save him.
Why wouldn't that matter?
It matters.
You mean Sissy Manson, Charles' sister?
I've never heard of Sissy.
Well, Sissy Manson. You think she'd do anything for Charles?
Well, that's really going
She
but
calls
I'm
him
just
Chuck.
saying, if the person you related to is an absolute animal, you wouldn't help them.
No, but maybe I exaggerated. The quality of person is not the reason why I would save him. He's my brother.
But I'm not saying this is Dave, but if your brother is a reprehensible human being, why would you save him?
Well, if he's Charles Manson, for your example, then yeah, I think I'd cut ties. But
you know, Sissy Michael calls Charles Chuck.
No, I didn't know that. No,
Chuck Manson. Yep.
Interesting.
What about Squeaky Fromm's parents? What do you think? How do you think they handled that?
That was a given name. People don't know that. That was actually a given name. Yeah.
You don't know that.
I got to slide right into Diamond Notes right now.
Oh yeah, why? Why not?
Brought to you by London Jewelers.
Yeah, the creativity is amazing.
I am. I'm being hated north of the border,
no.
Don. And I know you love Canada and you'd like to be a Canadian.
You know what? You did it to yourself. I saw this moving around.
I'm with Peter.
But
you said it.
I didn't say anything. I mean, thou doth protest too much. I just said it's kind of curious that they're fouling off pitches they didn't foul off in the series against the Yankees. I never said anything.
Come on.
So I mean, they're dropping F-bombs from north of the border. I love Toronto.
You know what?
Wait, hold on.
They're making salient points.
No, they're not.
Wait, hold on. Here's the question I have, Don. Who is if this is going to be Michael's angle, that he didn't say anything as he's putting it. My only question for you then today, Don, is who is more gutless, Mushnick or Michael today? That's the only question I have.
No, he can't be at the level of Mushnick.
Because Mushnick we'll get to. I said I was going to read his thing. There's nothing to read, apparently.
Well, you were at me, though. A little shot at me.
That's okay.
Yeah, but it was gutless. He said not a word. He didn't even mention.
Let me defend Phil here for a second.
Why?
Because I just want to see what you say to this.
Okay.
Maybe, somehow, some way, he developed some kind of soul and said, I can't rip this 85-year-old man who's having a day. I just can't do it. What would you say then? I still think it's going to happen on Sunday, by the way.
Oh, well, then all bets are off. He just gave it a day to breathe, you're saying?
Yeah.
Enough with this yo-yo.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the other stuff.
Let's get back to
killing you.
Oh, by the way, we are going to celebrate the legendary career of John Sterling on Yes tomorrow, starting at 11:30, and then cover the entire ceremony. So if you're going to the game tomorrow, and it's Aaron Judge, number 62 bobblehead, get there at 12:30.
Yeah.
Don't you want to show the man you love?
Hold on, you got to get in there early. It's Aaron Judge 62 bobblehead plus they're celebrating John.
Yeah, come on. What are you doing?
You know what? You might sleep at the stadium tonight.
Yeah, you should be heading over there now.
All right, so let's get to this, Don. Do you have a problem with what I said?
Do you have audio of what you said or no? We don't have it, do we?
Oh, it was on the game. I'm sure there's audio that exists, but the way I phrased it, intentionally the way I phrased it, it's a kind of moment. No, I didn't say anybody's doing anything wrong.
Well, but when you throw curious out.
Well, it is curious.
Which means, so
explain. You're not explaining. To real quick, Michael said it's very odd or curious that the Yankees just played the Blue Jays in the Bronx. You have it? Here we go.
Good.
You know what's curious to me, though, John? We just the Blue Jays in the Bronx. And what we watched was a completely different team than the one we've seen here in Toronto. The one in New York did not foul off the amount of pitches that this team does. It's like it's a different team in this ballpark. Now, home field advantage, there is something to that. But why would it manifest itself in the ability to foul off tough pitches?
Well, and you think about Carlos Rodon last night. He had a good fastball, right? I mean, he had good stuff last night and just had a tough time putting away certain hitters in that Blue Jay lineup.
Now, you could understand it if, okay, the next time you see them after you saw them in the Bronx was a month and a half later. Well, this is a week later, and it's a completely different approach and a completely, totally innocent.
What are you saying this? What are you trying to say?
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
They went to school on the Yankees. That's one thing. Why is everybody jumping to say that? I thought they were cheating. I never said they were cheating.
You said it's curious. You said it's different because they're in Toronto.
Right, but only a week later.
Right.
But in Toronto. You said it can't just be the home field advantage.
Right, so it could be that they went to school on them and they have a different approach.
Yeah, but is that really what you meant?
Yeah.
You know what? I leave it up for you to decide.
That's weak sauce, man.
Gutless.
Own it or not. I mean, are you accusing me of something or not?
Because I think that all teams push the envelope between legal and illegal. I do.
But Michael, I'm not mad at what you said. I'm mad at you not owning it. And
I am owning it. I put it out there for to you know what? I like to make people think. Let them think. But instead, I'm getting attacked from north of the border, and I don't like it.
Surprised. So you think
they're monsters.
So you think the other team's fan base is going to take that as, oh, well, Michael's just curious. No, they're going to attack the out-of-town announcer.
You know what? That's their issue then. Dow doth protest too much.
That's fine. But for you to be shocked that they responded that way, if I didn't know any better, Peter, I would almost think he was fishing for that reaction.
Shocked that there's gambling in this establishment.
You set him up, and I just wish you would own it, because it was if you did do that, it's brilliant. It's great. It's great theater. It's great for the game. It's great for you. It causes a little stir. I just wish you'd own it. The second you said
I'm
curious,
owning what I said. I'm owning what I said.
No, you're not.
I just put it out there for people to think. Things that make you go, That's all. Maybe Don Mattingly came up with a completely different approach for the hitters.
But that's not what you think.
I don't know what I think.
You think something's going on.
It's a little fishy, but I don't think it. I don't know what's going on.
But if you had to guess, you brought it up.
I put it on Mattingly. He's brilliant.
But then you would say that. You'd say, this is real. Peter, this is what he would say. He's like, I got to tell you, this is the brilliance of Don Mattingly. Have you noticed how they were able to go to school on the mistakes they made at Yankee Stadium, and you see how they turn it around? That's Don Mattingly. Then I'd say, all right, now he's owning the fact that he believed that Don Mattingly is the reason.
Yeah,
but when you said
you know what? You don't have to spill everything out on the table, Don. No, but make people think.
But there's you think it's nuance. You think that you're being that guy, that you're really being smart and trying
clever,
exactly. That's what you think you're trying to be clever.
I am clever,
but it can come across as you being gutless.
No, I don't think so. But if that's where you want to go, that's fine. I know what you think about me.
But just two things: own it, and then Peter, I'm shocked that he's upset about the reaction. Do you see how they go?
No, I'm not upset. I'm curious. Why is it happening?
Really?
Yeah.
And you've told us before that as much as you love Canada and Canadians, when it comes to Blue Jays fans, they're animals.
Blue Jay fans are tough, man. Blue Jay fans are the only fan I've ever seen Ken Singleton get angry and almost punch somebody in the face. Ken Singleton, one of the great men of all time. I think it's the amount of alcohol.
No, you know what it is? It's a perfect example of an inferiority complex, because if you go to Leaf games, and they sell PSLs at Leaf games. I mean, they're sold out. They're as passionate. You've been up there, Michael. That's the #1 team with a bullet. No, not nearly the same. Not nearly the same. Passive even. Like, I did a game up there on a Saturday night, like the first game, and I'm like, Dave, I'm pumped up. It's hockey night in Canada, Toronto. He's like, this isn't Montreal, it's Toronto. They watch it like it's a play. But in Toronto, for the baseball, they're nutbags. Because when it's hockey, Peter, they know that that it's their sport, right? That they own it. They know they're the capital of hockey up there, and they don't have to worry about what other people think. But in baseball in Canada, there's the inferiority complex that people think they don't know the sport as well. They're way more sensitive. It's the same people. It's the same city. How can one react for one team one way and the other for another?
Because there's a lot more alcohol in the beer.
Yeah, but
is that what it is?
I think that has something to do with it.
But
can we talk about something positive, Don? Let's talk about your Mets.
Okay.
You got to be impressed. Yamamoto against Manaea today. It's going to be great. I'm driving home in a hurry just to watch it.
It's an interesting test because everything's kind of clicking here offensively, and they're situationally hitting. And in a lot of these games, they spotted the other opposition 2-3 runs and come back. Now I think they caught Pittsburgh at the right time, because I don't think Pittsburgh was as good as their record when they played them, and Kansas City probably the same thing, right? So maybe they were catching these teams at the right time, but still, to be able to go out there and win 4 consecutive series, to be able to sweep the Pirates the way they did, come from behind wins, situational hitting, Bader's hitting very well, Lindor's been a little bit better. You got to be pretty impressed. 10-3, Michael. They completely washed away what happened to 0-5, and now if they can keep their head above water on this Western swing, and go into May as above 500 team, I think that there is a very good possibility that what I hoped would happen, that this team will play meaningful games in September.
I think it's great if both teams are good. I really do.
Yeah, of course it is. And it's been kind of ignored because of everything's happening with the Knicks and the Rangers and to a certain extent the Islanders and all that. So I do feel like baseball's a bit on the back burner with everything that's going on, and you got the draft next week. But I think when this all settles down, when the basketball and the hockey's over, we might actually have a fun summer here with these baseball teams. Clearly the Yankees are better, there's no question, but for a Met team with zero expectations to be playing for something, and they'll go for it. If we get to the deadline and this team is within striking distance, Cohen's going to go for it.
Now, there was an interesting column by my friend John Heyman in the Post today where he said, if the Yankees lose Soto to the Mets, there's a real good chance that they would go after Pete Alonso.
The Yankees.
Right. And I go, why?
Why?
I mean, if the Mets aren't going to give their homegrown star all that money, why would the Yankees do it? Well, I mean, you just moved Judge to first base. Why would you sign Pete Alonso to a 7-year deal? That makes sense.
That's because for all the reasons the Mets wouldn't re-sign him, it's exactly why the Yankees wouldn't sign him. Or do they see something the Mets don't?
There's no way.
And you know,
first of all, you're going to sign another right-handed hitter for Yankee Stadium? For what?
And
lock him up for 7 years? That makes no sense.
You know way better than I do, Michael. But I don't think Cashman and Steinbrenner play that game. Oh, let's stick it to the Mets, and we'll steal their player after they stole ours.
I don't think he meant it that way. He felt that was a good replacement for Soto. It's not.
How? Listen, I think
the Yankees have an option next year on Rizzo's contract. We'll see how Rizzo plays this year before they decide to pick it up. So even if they do need a first baseman, they're going to lock up Pete Alonso for 7 years?
And listen, is he a better player than Rizzo? Yeah, I would rather have Pete Alonso than Rizzo.
But I think I'd rather have Soto.
But all right, Soto leaves for an astronomical amount of money. But I'm sure Alonso is going to be asking for a lot too. Now let me ask you this: if the price comes down and you end up getting him cheaper than you thought, like let's say you can get him for $25 million a year, do you change your opinion on him?
I don't think so, because first of all, you got 2 more years left on LeMahieu's contract. He could play first.
Yeah, but can you count on that, man?
Well, I mean, I don't know what you could count on, what you can't count. But you would then, I mean, you're going to have to replace Soto unless they think that Spencer Jones is ready and Dominguez is ready. All of those things are in, but I just don't think that if it's $25 million down, then the Mets will keep him.
Oh, yeah, listen, I think the Mets are kind of greasing the skids for his exit because they think he's going to ask for money that they would never in a million years pay. But, as we've seen with other Boris clients, that you end up starting next spring training, and now he's not getting the money that he was looking for. And
well, let's put it this way, Don. If he signs with the Yankees, I'll be shocked. I don't think that's where they pivot if they lose Soto to the Mets.
And I believe that Cohen's smart enough to know how much this fan base feels about him, even though it may not be as much as people think. But I still think they would like Alonso to stay. That if the price came down, the Mets would keep him.
But I don't think they'd sign both. Not at 110% tax. If they're going to go after Soto, it's going to be $50 million a year.
I don't know what Cohen's appetite is for that. Like we talked about his aggressiveness for getting Soto. Like, what if this year bottoms out and they lose 100 games again? And do you realize something? This is a bad Mets stat. Grassa told me this. You ready for this?
All right.
Since they opened Citi Field in 2009, only one time did the Mets have attendance over 18,000, other than 20 and 21 when you had the restrictions on attendance because of COVID.
Wait, like 18,000 average?
No, meaning like a game in which their attendance was less than 18,000.
Oh, less than 18. Okay.
It's happened 6 times already this year.
Wow. So if they hit rock bottom, Don, then it doesn't make sense to keep Alonso.
But if they hit rock bottom, would it be? Listen, I don't think anybody's going to go see a team that's lousy unless Pete's breaking the record for home runs in a season. You've already saw by the lack of attendance now that I think people weren't buying into this team yet. Maybe things will obviously change if they continue to play the way that they're playing. But if they bottom out, he might pull out every stop possible to try to make up for it, and money be damned.
But if they bottom out, they'll pay Soto $60 million a year. But
right.
I don't think that David Stearns is a fan of 30-year-old first baseman.
I get it, but
and I can't dismiss you, Don, because they're in a rebuild. Obviously, they're trying to straddle the line and rebuild and contend. If they were in a real rebuild, they trade Pete Alonso during the offseason.
Right.
But the fact that he is popular with the fan base has forced them to keep him.
Right.
Now, maybe they trade him at the trade deadline, but if they're in it, you can't. But I think there's a real possibility he doesn't return. Maybe the Mets don't get Soto. Maybe Soto actually likes playing for the Yankees, and unless the Mets outbid the Yankees by like $10 million a year, they're not going to get him.
I really believe a lot of the decisions that were made this year were to get Soto at all costs. And if that's the case, then if it becomes that kind of a bidding war, then I could see the Steinbrenners tapping out. He might go crazy and go north of $50 million a year to lock this guy up. And if he's all about the dollar, which you would think he is since he has Boris as his agent, then I think it would be really hard for the Yankees to bring him back. But if he decides, hey, I love New York and I don't care about the money, well, then the Yankees, I think, have an excellent chance to bring him back. But if he's all about making the most money possible, and if he's not, fire Boris now, right? You can get any agent to get him a deal with the Yankees during the offseason. But if he's, because I think Cohen will go there.
Well, that was Diamond Notes, brought to you by London Jewelers. Visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the Americana Mall and the mall at Short Hills. Don, how about BetMGM? What are you thinking?
Hey, baseball fan.
Dynamic air suspension, all-wheel steering, configurable terrain response, effortless in the extreme.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
In order to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nanny gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay and how fast you can get started.
New season, new reasons to say yes. Wow. Yes to the ultimate viewing experience. Aaron Judge crushes one. The Yes app. Download now.
Yankee streaming is brought to you by Montefiore Einstein.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
New season, new reasons to say yes. Wow. Yes to the ultimate viewing experience. Aaron Judge crushes one. Yes to in-game live stats. And earn rewards and win prizes. Get all the Yankees action on the Yes app. Download now.
If anyone knows the joy of rescuing animals, it's me. Just ask my rescues, who are all very important members of my family. Your life can also be forever changed by adopting a shelter pet. And it's not just about happiness your pet gets from finding a loving home, but that which you'll get from bringing them into your life. The heroes at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years, whether it's rescuing animals caught in disasters, ensuring the safety of animal stars on screen, or protecting our planet's endangered species. They go above and beyond to further their mission and make the world a kinder place for animals. Please consider adopting a shelter pet and support American Humane. You can learn more at AmericanHumane.org.
Vehicle breakdowns are costly.
It started making some really weird noises.
If your check engine light comes on tomorrow, the repair could easily cost thousands.
Is that transmission?
But with Endurance, you could never pay out of pocket for a costly repair again.
They covered a $14,000 engine replacement.
$1,400. Endurance paid it.
Who's going to pay for your next car repair? You or Endurance?
Call right now to get $300 off any plan. Call now.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Right now, get a Ford F-150 with 1.9% financing for 72 months, only at your local Ford stores.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Mel. Is now good for a quick catch-up on your plan?
Yes, now's great.
Refinance now or refinance later? Here are 10 tips to make your
Needless to say, your money could be working so much harder.
Yes, I'm thinking more long-term.
Interest rates will remain at current levels.
Great. We'll make that change to your plan and adjust as needed.
This helps a lot.
Bye, Mel.
Bye.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Well, you know, the Rangers are in the playoffs, Islanders, the Knicks, the Yankees, and the Mets are playing well. But easily, the most anticipated sporting event of the year is the pickleball showdown between Team DiPietro and Rothenberg and Team Anita Marks and Amani Toomer. Sunday, May 5th at Pickleball America in Stamford, Connecticut. Pre-game coverage kicks off on ESPN New York at 9 a.m. with a live broadcast hosted by Anita as she sets the stage. Then shortly after the show, the paddles come out for the pickleball showdown for the ages. Please be there on May 5th to witness this showcase event at Pickleball America in Stamford, Connecticut. And we all believe that Anita and Amani will win.
Hard not to.
Although no fault of Rick's.
No, Rick's wonderful.
Rick's wonderful. He's yummy. He's everything.
Well,
Peter and
again,
I are not
understand
going to
that.
be on board with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just we don't agree.
You don't think he's yummy?
No.
I don't describe anyone with that word.
Even your wife?
Yummy?
Yeah.
I never have.
Try it on her today.
I don't think
She'll
she'd
love
like it. No.
I think she'll
I don't know her very well. I know Nancy would have no use for it at all.
Certainly from you.
Yummy. Let's go to the phones. Mikey in Manhattan. Michael?
Michael K., it is an absolute honor to talk to you and your team. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, thank you for calling, man.
It's really, really a pleasure to have access to a great team like you have there. I just have a question as a John Sterling fan and a Michael K. fan. Listening to you and John in my childhood and going to the game tomorrow is going to be a special moment for myself. The question I have for the team here is just looking at the way John Sterling left and how he left, and even from the press release, the PR going out saying effective immediately, and also with your phone call that you had him on Saturday, was there any chance, or could there have been a chance for a reduced work schedule that was offered to John that he would take? I know it was going to be home games and a few select games, but was there any type of back and forth with the Yankees or with the other managements which John worked for, that if he could do a less schedule, 40 games home, 30, and as well as a broadcaster emeritus or a few games here and there, just the fans to hear his voice one more time.
They really tried. I mean, I know I tried to talk him out of it on Saturday, and he said, nope, I'm done. I just can't do it anymore. I'm too tired. I can't make that trip to the stadium and back every day. Chris Oliveira, the GM of FAN, I mean, went to talk to John and said, listen, John, we'll make it work. And John hey, it is time. He got in his head, it is time. And, those that have talked to him the last couple of days, he seems so happy and so relieved. And he'll get a chance. We're going to have him on Yes tomorrow during the game for an inning. And, we'll ask him then. But no, people tried. People tried to, and he said no, he was done.
I mean, was the caller suggesting he was forced out or something?
No, they tried. He just wanted to stop.
Yeah, and that immediately didn't come from the Yankees. It came from him. He was done.
They were the release they gave out was from him.
I know.
I'm done. He told me on Saturday, Don, I've called my last game.
I'm surprised that it went from like 0 to 60 to 0 the way that it did. I mean, the guy went from doing every inning, and you saw he didn't want to walk away when he did, taking that sabbatical when he wasn't feeling well, and like it killed him. But so I'm a little surprised that it was so abrupt and so immediate, and I'm relieved that it has nothing to do with him medically. He was just done. But it is shocking to people that you could be, from a guy that looked like he wanted to do it forever to just not even having a goodbye series. It's odd, but I'm glad you brought that up because I don't want people thinking, like I think that caller was insinuating that he was forced out in some way. No way.
And you know what? All three of us, I'm the closest, and I'm still 22 years younger than him. We can't imagine what it's like to be 85 years old and have to have that kind of responsibility and that kind of listenership every single day. And there's so much on your plate. We can't, until we hit 85, if we're ever lucky enough to hit that, you don't know. So we can't put ourselves in John's, shoes right now and say, well, we would have done it different. We don't know. We have no idea. So I give him his space. I love the guy. I want him to be happy, and he sounds happy. That's all I care about, that he's happy. I know a lot of people are disappointed because they weren't finished listening to him. But he's finished broadcasting. 65 years of this, guys.
Yeah, it's a good run. There's no question about it. But the caller made a good point, though, Don. The way it happened, I understand why it's throwing people off a bit. But, I just sort of it's so hard to ever walk away.
Yep.
And I just respect that when he hit the moment, he hit the moment.
I know, but even if, listen, you had to know. The guy's 85, going to be 86 years old, that it wasn't going to last forever. But I think everybody just want to have that last moment, right? Just to be able to know, okay, this is the last series or this is the last game he's ever going to do. And that's the closure that I think a lot of fans feel like they never got.
And in Milwaukee, they're dealing with the same thing. Bob Uecker's 91. And he does not want to do a bad job on the air, and they have bent over backwards. Mark Atanasio, the owner of the Brewers, whatever you need, whatever games you want to do, don't have to do every inning. We'll have somebody there to do the innings that you don't want to do. And everything was tried with John, too. He felt he was done. Uecker's still plowing through, and I think Vin Scully went till he was 92. It's hard, man. It's hard. Especially on the radio. Uecker does radio, too. Now, he doesn't travel, and toward the end of his career, Vin Scully didn't travel anymore. He just did games at Dodger Stadium. And essentially, John mapped out his schedule this year. He's going to do all the home games in Baltimore and Boston that weren't long trips, and Citi Field. That was it. That was going to be his schedule. He also, I think the thing that really knocked him back a little bit, guys, doing the opening road trip. Going to Houston, long flight.
Yeah.
Going to Phoenix, long flight. And then coming home from Phoenix, I think that really wiped him out. If he didn't have to go on that opening trip, and he wanted to because he wanted to open the season, and I understand. But if the season opened at home, maybe he doesn't make this decision. Again, that's just me guessing. Because I saw how that road trip, I was on the road trip with him. I saw how it wiped him out.
Yeah, but even though the commute could be grueling from New Jersey to the Bronx, it's not nearly as bad as having to travel as far as he had to travel those first two series. But listen, if he's done, he's done. If he had his fill, he had his fill. I as much as we may not get it, or
it's not for us to get.
Be happy about it. You're right. It's not for us to get or to understand. That's it. And thank God he's still with us. And we'll have Saturday. And hopefully we'll be able to get him on, and I'm sure he'll make appearances here or there, so you can kind of get your fill. But I can understand it. It's rough because everybody.
Now you guys never listen to me ever. You never take any advice I give you.
Rarely.
Did you read the Tom Verducci story?
No.
Not out of any malice.
You're the great reader. That's
am.
you. It would have taken you 5 minutes.
You are a good reader.
No,
That's a good point, Mike.
Take the iPad into the toilet. Boom! You knock it right out.
No, you're right. And I will read it. I didn't realize.
And when? Like 3 years from now?
But I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was on deadline.
No, you're not. You just do. You do what you want.
I'm reading Kooks and Degenerates on Ice about the 1970 Boston Bruins.
Right. So that's more important than reading a story about John Sterling.
Listen, I'm good. I'm going to tell you now. Now you're going to get me mad.
Push him to
no, because I met.
Yeah, he's good.
You know why? I mean, Tom Verducci's letting the people that don't know. I know. I've worked with Michael Kay for 20 plus years. I've heard every story. I've met John. I went to the booth and hung out with John, and he's a part of my soundtrack too. Even though I'm no Yankee fan, I listen to him a lot. So Michael put me in a very awkward position, but I'll say it again. I'm good.
When we come back, Henrik Lundqvist, the King, Don, they call him. I don't know if you know that.
I was not aware.
I've heard that.
King Henrik.
Yay!
But first, Peter has some things to tell us.
Switch to Square and take charge of your business and your time. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale, every way you want, and every way they want too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Switch to taking control and taking more free time, whatever that means to you. Make the switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started. See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today. Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
At Away, we know what real travel looks like. So when we make luggage, we think about how you actually get from place to place. How travel brings pit stops and welcome detours. How you deserve an easier, more flexible way to pack. Because when it comes to luggage, how you actually travel matters. Away, designed by travelers for travelers.
Beautiful ladies, loving it. Beautiful family, jealous. Bride is the best day of your life. There's that smile. That's a keeper. Let's get the lucky men in here, huh? Oh. All right, we got it. Groom's bed. Okay.
Some days are just too important for a trashy suit. Read from theblacktux.com.
Dynamic leaders shaping a new generation, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Life is hard, but you guys have to work harder. Okay? No, I do not do it.
My Camille Trinidad, and I want to live.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And your Ford dealer is the place to start. With a full lineup of vehicles and available powertrains. Get your ideal combination of power and capability with gas, hybrid, or all electric. But more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it.
Right now, returning lessees can get a Ford Explorer for $369 a month, only at your local Ford stores.
Meet Hard Rock Bet with over 1,000 casino games. New slots added every month. Live dealer games like blackjack, roulette, poker, baccarat, plus fast withdrawals and 24/7 customer support. Hard Rock Bet has everything you expect from a top-rated casino app. And it has everything you don't. Download Hard Rock Bet, a top-rated casino and sportsbook, all in one app. Get free spins and more when you sign up now.
Everywhere but the seat. The seat is leather.
Alan, we get it. You love your bike. We do too.
That's why we're America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
But do you have to wedge it into everything?
What? Don't do that. This reminds me of my bike. The wolf was about the size of my new motorcycle. Have you seen it, by the way? Happy birthday, Grandma!
Really?
Look how the brushstrokes follow the line of the gas tank. Hey! Brought my +1. Jamie.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
We're excited. Knicks and the Rangers in the playoffs, the Islanders as well. And MSG Networks will have game 1 and every game of the series. Henrik Lundqvist, our next guest, Steve Balaket, and John Giannone will anchor MSG studio coverage, starting with a 1-hour expanded pregame show at 2 p.m. Sunday. Get all your Rangers news, stats, and insights from Henrik and team on MSG's exclusive pre- and post-game coverage every single game. So tune into MSG Network's game coverage and pre- and post-game coverage for the whole series. And he's nice enough to carve out some time for us today.
Yes.
Henrik Lundqvist. Henrik, it's Michael, Don, and Peter. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great as well. How do you feel about this series?
I'm excited. It's been a couple weeks here leading up to the playoffs. I feel like the excitement is going up. And, Washington as a team, to be honest, I didn't think they were going to make it just the way they were playing for a while in early spring. But then the last few weeks.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
It's
same line as Andrew.
Is Mercury in retrograde? What's happening?
Wow.
Always hate the boop.
It's almost like it almost worries you.
Like you mean there's a saboteur?
Or you never want to think that any of your guests ran into foul play, but it's a scary sound. You know what I mean?
I wonder if Phil Jackson's involved.
What do you mean?
I mean, because he was a saboteur.
Yeah, but love that. I don't know why he would be invested in disconnecting Hank from this interview.
Just likes to hurt MSG.
Oh,
there he is.
There he is.
He's back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, guys.
As long as you're okay.
All right, so you're talking about Washington. You didn't even know if they were going to get in it. Here they are.
Here they are, and obviously Ovechkin heating up here over the last few weeks. That's a big plus for them. But in terms for the Rangers here, they've been playing so well down the stretch. They have a lot of confidence. I think when you look at a great team, they have all the parts: goaltending, defense, offense, special teams. I think they should feel very confident and feel good about how they ended the season and going into the playoffs here.
Hank, you were on a President's Trophy winning team in 14-15, and you went to Game 7 of the conference final that year, so I don't think there was any kind of jinx, but you know the history of what happens to President's Trophy winners. Did you feel any stress? Do you think this team is feeling any going in with the albatross of that responsibility around their neck going into the postseason?
I don't. I think if you look at the top 2-3 teams in the East, 2-3 teams in the West, I think they all feel that expectation of They should try to win. They have the team for it. It's a great opportunity for all of them. So I don't think they overthink the fact that they won the President's Trophy. I know we didn't. It's a nice thing to accomplish, and it shows the consistency you've had throughout 82 games, right? But then you move on. You don't think much of it going into the playoffs.
I always wonder, the few times the Rangers made the playoffs and like 7 games. I think that wears you down. Can a team go into a series like this and actually think, let's try to end this quicker than 7 so we have something in the tank for the long haul?
I don't think you go in with that mindset because it's too hard. I think the mindset is we need to win. We need to get the 4 wins. Of course, if you want to go in the long run, it's better to not go to 7 every round. There's no question. But your mindset is not try to end it early. I think you need to have more respect towards your opponent for that. And all teams going into the playoffs now, you even saw a lot of good teams missing the playoffs this year. So it's going to be a battle. No question. Even though there's a big change in points or big difference in points between first and 8 seeds, it's still going to be a battle out there.
Well, do you think we see Philip Hedl in the series?
I'm not close enough to the team to have that insight, to be honest. Only him and medical team can answer that.
Let me ask you this way then. Well, let's say, because he's practicing with a non-contact, he's not wearing a jersey with non-contact. He's not rushing with any lines, but he's practicing full. What would be the most difficult thing for him if they were to put him in at some point, having not played since November?
I think the timing. Anytime you're away from the game, just getting used to the speed. I know you obviously practice for a while with high intensity and try to get used to it that way, but it is different when you step out on the ice, and especially into the playoffs, the intensity is even higher and the physicality is higher. I think that might be the toughest part. And when you add also the adrenaline you're feeling and everything, I think just to get your breathing, especially the first couple periods.
Is there a possibility, Henrik, that you can go into this series if you're the Rangers feeling overconfident? I mean, the Capitals have a negative goal differential. I mean, they sneak in at the end. I mean, can the Rangers possibly be overconfident?
Well, I think that's where Peter comes in, right? It's important that what's being said right now and back to the respect you're showing your opponent. Washington, they were beating a lot of good teams down the stretch, and they earned a spot in the playoffs. So for that reason alone, you need to be very smart in how you approach the game and this series. And I'm sure they will. They've been very good, I think, all year to evaluate themselves, their opponents, and how to play to have success.
The only thing that kind of concerns me, Hank, and you know the history with this team and Tom Wilson, and I don't think the Capitals really have anything to lose. And Tom Wilson can get under your skin, and I'm sure Rempe's going to be in the lineup for this, and he's a kid, and he's never been in the postseason before. How much do you think Peter's just hammering home to this team to not get caught up in number 43's histrionics and get drawn into things that you just don't want to have to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think everybody knows what Wilson is trying to accomplish, and to your point, you don't want to get caught. But at the same time, the Rangers have a guy now that can answer the ball if they have to. So I don't think they're overthinking it. They're a competent group in how they play, and they have the guys that can handle that if there's an issue.
Are you amazed at what Ovechkin and Crosby able to do at their ages?
Yeah, it's been impressive to watch. I mean, Crosby, incredible season this year, and Ovi reaching over 30 goals again. I've had so much respect for both of them throughout my career, and now being retired, still watching them play, and they're just dedicated to the game. It's hard to accomplish what they've accomplished without being 100% dedicated to the game. So it's just great to watch.
You know, I work, obviously, with a lot of guys that played for the Yankees in the postseason, Henrik, and always when the postseason comes around, that's when they say they miss it. You know, they don't miss the grind of the regular season. Are you feeling that as well?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Intensity goes up, the excitement goes up. Watching the games this time of the year definitely makes you miss the game a lot more. You know, it's just so fun to be out there as a player. You're excited for the team, but also you feel the excitement from the fans when you're out there. It's definitely a feeling I'll miss for a very long time. But it's also fun as a fan now to watch. You know, I enjoy it.
Don and I have been going back and forth a lot the last couple of weeks. I'm a Penguins fan. He's sort of thinking, you know, the only way things could kind of move forward for this Penguins team is if Sid wanted to leave and was willing to take a trade. Obviously, you can't be in Sidney Crosby's skates, but can you imagine having that sort of time with a place, 3 championships, and wanting to leave? Do you think... Is it the mentality of a great player like that they just have to get another championship, or would you rather, you think, close it out and just stay in the place that's brought you so much joy and success?
Well, obviously only Sid can answer that, but it would be very strange to see him somewhere else. He's been such a big part of the league, and obviously for the Pittsburgh Penguins for a long time. And again, I'm sure there's a lot of fans in that area. They're a little nervous right now to see what's going to happen. And in the end, only Sid can answer that one. I'll leave it at that.
I've been harping on 5-on-5 play, which has obviously been something that the Rangers certainly can improve on. At this time of year, is that something that they should be concerned about? Are you overly concerned about how they played even strength?
Well, in the end, it's about winning games, and they won the most games in the league. So if they rely a lot on special teams to win games, you know, that's one way to do it. And I think in the playoffs, sometimes 5-on-5 is even harder because of the way teams defend and the attention to details. So special teams sometimes becomes even more important. So no, I'm not that concerned on the 5-on-5, to be honest.
All right, when you look at this team, before we let you go, does this team have it to get to the Stanley Cup?
They do. Absolutely, they do. I think there's a lot of teams this year that have it, have the ability and a big chance of making it. But for the Rangers, looking at what they have, what they've done so far this year, their chances are really good, in my opinion.
Awesome. Enjoy the playoffs. We'll be watching on MSG pre- and post-game. All the games will be on MSG as well. We thank you for giving us some time, Henrik.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, enjoy. Coming up, another MSG Hall of Famer, and that is Mike Breen, who will be calling the first game of the Knicks and the Sixers tomorrow, but on ESPN. So we'll talk to Mike about that series. Do you have something to say, Peter? Or hear moaning?
Well, I said I love him.
Oh.
He's my best friend.
He never got back to you.
He never returned your call, did he?
Of course he did.
No, really?
Of course he did. What do you think? He's an animal? That's Mike Breen.
When did he do it?
You didn't doubt it, did you?
What did he say?
He said, and I quote, "Hey Peter, thanks. Can't wait for Saturday. Talk to you tomorrow. I think I'm on at 5 p.m. You good?"
Wow, I'm quite frankly a little disappointed.
What? Why would you say that?
Because
bring this up with Mike, Don.
I thought Michael would have put a stop to it.
I didn't. I told you I
You're
didn't.
disappointed that Michael didn't reach out to his friend and say, "Hey, don't be friends."
He's disappointed in his judgment of me. That's all.
No, good for you, Peter. I just thought it was going to go different.
So sad.
Hey, I talk for a living.
Sure do.
And whether I'm in the studio...
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Competing for gold, we have legendary Reese's Peanut Butter Cups versus newcomer Reese's Medals. Who will be the winner? I'm sorry, what are they competing in?
Ask Sherwin-Williams and save big during the 4-day super sale. Get 40% off paints and stains with sale prices starting at $26.69. Hurry, it's only April 19th through the 22nd. Shop online or your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And your Ford dealer is the place to start. With a full lineup of vehicles and available powertrains. Get your ideal combination of power and capability with gas, hybrid, or all electric. But more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it.
Right now, returning lessees can get a Ford Explorer for $369 a month, only at your local Ford stores.
Step into the world of Golden Nugget Online Casino. With all the slots and table games you love, feel like you're on the casino floor no matter where you are. Score rewards by playing your favorite games and get your winnings almost instantly with lightning-fast withdrawals. So what are you waiting for? Have a great time in your downtime. Download the Golden Nugget Online Casino app and get started today with this great offer.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nanny gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay, and how fast you can get started.
For years, one company has battled to deliver business products the next day with no freight charges. Now, WB Mason, with their famous fleet of trucks and drivers, faces their biggest challenge, rescuing shipping and packaging buyers from expensive freight charges. That's right. Now, boxes, stretch film, and packaging tape are delivered the very next day at amazingly low prices. So, who do you call for fast delivery and no expensive freight charges? Who but WB Mason?
This is the GMC Sierra, powered by the TurboMax engine, with the confidence of 430 pound-feet of best-in-class standard torque. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Current eligible GMC lessees can get this low-mileage lease on this 2024 Sierra Elevation for around $399 per month. We are professional grade GMC.
The Michael K. Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
Welcome back to the show. We just talked with Henrik Lundqvist about the Rangers Capital Series that will begin on Sunday, and the Knicks and the Sixers series begins tomorrow. MSG Networks will have game one and every game of the series. And Knick fans, you can tip off your playoff coverage with MSG Network tomorrow night. 1 hour expanded pregame show begins at 5, followed by game coverage at 6. MSG Networks is your home for Knicks playoff basketball. They'll have every game except Game 4. And don't miss MSG's expanded pre- and post-game coverage every night throughout the playoffs. Tip off the 2024 Knicks playoff run with all the action tomorrow night beginning at 5 p.m. on MSG Networks. Now, our next guest, Mike Breen, will not be with MSG for Game 1. He's going to have the game on ESPN, but he'll be with Clyde on MSG for most of the games moving forward. And now we welcome in Mike Breen. Hi, Mike.
Hello, guys. How are we doing?
Doing great. Are you excited?
Peter and Don didn't answer.
Oh, I'm great. Mike, how are you?
I'm terrific. I can't wait. This is going to be 94-esque for the next 2 months.
Well, wouldn't that be nice, huh?
Oh, kidding me.
How cool is it that, you know, you're the national voice of the NBA for all these years, and you haven't had an opportunity to call that many Knicks games, and boom, right out of the gate, you're calling the Knicks game 1 against the Sixers on ESPN. Pretty cool.
No, it's great. Just to be in that building, it's going to be so much fun. The place is going to be nuts on Saturday. It's going to be nuts on Sunday. And this particular series, you know, these two teams playing in the playoffs for the first time, it's two sports crazy fan bases that have been waiting for success for a long time. It's like the dream matchup. It's hard to believe it's a first-round matchup, but I think it's the most compelling matchup in the first round in the league.
Is there any chance, Mike, that you need some help with stats? Because I'd love to sit courtside with you during the game.
Sure. I'll call Dave Freed, who's my normal statistician.
Right.
He's busy. He does the Mets for Gary Cohen. He does Iron Eagles football games, so he could use a day off. So you're good for tomorrow.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're required to work.
No, I can do turnovers and stuff like that.
You know what? Hold him to this, Mike. Hold him to it.
No, but it's a lot more than just turnovers. He doesn't just hand me numbers all the time. He sees things on the court.
Yeah.
He knows rules. He knows trends. The guy's as good a statistician as there in the entire industry. This is a big responsibility, and it's a playoff game.
Yeah, I don't think
so.
Are you intimating that I'm a hack, that I can't do it? I think I know
it sounds to me like he doesn't think you can do it.
No, that's what it sounds to me, Don.
Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. I think I know you as well as anybody, and I think I know your strengths and your weaknesses, as we all have. But I have no idea about your ability as a statistician. I have no idea, because when we were at Fordham, you never kept stats for me.
You never asked.
So I don't know. Okay, but I don't. The thing is, I don't know. You might be one of the great statisticians of all time,
Right.
but you could be a colossal failure.
Yeah.
And I can't. I'm willing to take that chance, but you've got to come through.
I think you will not be disappointed.
I can't wait to see this play.
He's not going to do it. Good. So, of course, it's going to go great because he's not even going to
Well, the Yankee game's at 1. I'll have plenty of time to get there, do my prep work. I'll be fine.
You know what? It's all talk. Do it.
I will.
Wait a minute. No, the game is at 6 o'clock.
I get it. Yankee game will be over at, like, what, 3:30? I'll be fine.
No, you're required to be there earlier than that and going over certain things.
You're fired, Michael.
Making sure. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work.
Oh.
You already lost the job. All right, Mike, I'm tired of these guys just goofing off all the time. Let's talk some nuts and bolts basketball here. We've been going back and forth. Michael said his preference for the Knicks team would have been to get the Sixers. Don and I sort of felt the Heat, in spite of the scary past and how great Spoelstra is, I would have rather gotten the Heat because of just how dangerous this Sixers team can be at full strength. Do you have any idea what this version of the Sixers team will look like come tomorrow?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the Sixers team. It has all to do with their star player, and that's why it's a scary matchup, because when he's right, he's as dominant as any player in the league, and not just because he can score 35 or 40 with ease. He's a dominant defensive player. His defensive numbers this year, before he got hurt, were as good as he's ever been, and he's always been an elite defensive player at his position. So that's the whole scary part. Like, how good is he? Now, the other game, I didn't see, I think I saw one of his games down the stretch after he returned, and he looked pretty good. But then to see it up close and personal the other night, he looked like he was laboring through the first 3 quarters. He's still, with his skill level and his size, he can still do things that most can't. But then in that fourth quarter, he kind of became alive. And I think he had 11 points in the fourth quarter, had this one beautiful pass, a couple of big rebounds, some defensive stops. The guy he's just an absolute beast. He's a great player. He's this massive man with unbelievable skills. And that's what makes him such a scary opponent. Now, can he do it in the playoff intensity. He played a lot of minutes, played the most minutes since he came back. But that's what makes it so hard, because the supporting cast is all fine and healthy, except for DeAnthony Melton. But he didn't play the other night. I don't think he's playing tomorrow. But that's what makes it such a tough matchup. This guy is a great player.
And you can't even just throw the bodies at him and use fouls because he shoots 90% from the stripe.
Right. It's amazing. He gets to the free throw line more than anybody, and as a 7-footer, he's just under 90%. That's what makes him so hard, and that I think is a key throughout the entire series, is to not let him get to the line 15 times, because when he has his big games, most of the time he's shooting between 10 and 15 free throws, and he's knocking most of them down.
How big is this week off? I mean, this team plays such intense basketball, and I was watching the game last Sunday, and then you and Clyde were great, just appreciating. You never see a game 82 with that kind of intensity, but that's just the way the Knicks play every single night. That's what makes them so much fun to watch. So how big is getting almost a week off before this whole thing starts?
Don, I don't think any team that's left benefited more from that time, because of not just how they play, but how many minutes they have all played, the main guys. Basically since January, when Randall and then Anunoby went down, and obviously without Mitchell Robinson for a long time, they all had stretches. Even some of the guys off the bench, whether it's Precious Achiuwa and Miles McBride, when they were starting, they're all averaging like 40-plus minutes for several weeks. And these are hard minutes with this team because of the way they get at you defensively. So I think it's, like I said, the biggest bonus of any team to have that time off and just let the bodies rest.
Now, Brunson this year, Mike, 28.7 points, 48% shooting overall, 40 from three. But against the Sixers, 22.3, 40% from the field, 30% from three. Is there any rhyme or reason? Is that just a statistical blip, or is there something that they do that slows them down?
I think it's hard to go from regular season to postseason in terms of trying to compare or predict. There are certain matchups that might be more difficult, but the regular season, so much of a player's performance is where does a game come at the schedule? Is it the third game of 4 nights? Is it a back-to-back? All those who's playing with them that particular game. But with that said, Philadelphia has some good defenders. Kelly Oubre he's 6'7", and he's not what you would call a great defender, but he's got great potential defensively. I remember Scotty Brooks telling me when Oubre first got into the league, Brooks was coaching the Washington Wizards, and he said Oubre could be an elite defender. He never got that because that wasn't the prime commitment for him. But when he's engaged defensively, the guy he's really, really good. Nick Batum, who's 6'8", has another guy. Now, he's 35, but he's still so smart defensively that he can guard you. And then throw in Kyle Lowry, who gives everybody problems. Even at his age, he's 38. So they can send a lot of different defenders, and sometimes defenders with length can give Jalen Brunson trouble in terms of scoring. But we've seen him time and time again. He figures it out. It's unbelievable how he's done that time and time again. He has seen every form of defense. And by the second half, he's figured it out. Even if he has a bad first half, because he never plays backwards, he figures out how, okay, maybe I'm not going to have this shot available, but I'm going to have these open threes from my teammates, or I'm going to have these lob passes to the big guys. It's been one of the most remarkable things to watch, how he has dealt with every team trying to shut him down, and he finds a way to beat them.
Mike, I just want to tell you, and this is true, I'm not making this up, I just got a text, and I'll read it to you. Michael, it's Dave Freed. It's all yours. But before the game, you have to press Mike's suit. It's part of the job. So I'm out. I'm not pressing any suit.
Well, you just don't have time. You got the Yankee game.
We'll waive the suit pressing aspect of it.
Good, thank you.
Please, Mike, please call.
I'll just go with a wrinkled suit.
Call. Okay, because you're not pressing. Please call him on this. This has to happen. It has to happen.
It's a nationally televised game, Don. He's not going to play your reindeer games.
What reindeer games?
Don. Don. Normally, I would if it was a regular season game, but and I was broadcasting all by myself, but I owe it to the crew.
Right.
That's right. They worked hard
to have that quality performance, and without knowing what's going to happen, I
I think Darcy and JJ would think I'm terrific.
So I can just picture the awful announcing headline now. Michael K. not ready for prime time, according to Mike Breen.
Nice.
Or it'd be one of those where I'd give a stat and like 20 seconds later, just want to correct that. That was wrong.
Check
I didn't.
Check that. It's a 21-3 run, not a 21-0
Keep in
run.
mind, I don't want to bring up old stuff, but Mike, just yesterday on the show, Michael got caught getting sports pickled and read a quote that wasn't even true. So he's not someone you can totally rely on.
Oh, my God. That's not right.
What a jerk you
that
are.
is
I mean, don't you think if he's considering, Don, if he's considering a prospective statistician, don't you want to know that he went on a website called like the Sports Sack or something and believed what they said?
No, it was PGA Tour, and they spelled Tour T-U-O-R. So maybe I'm a bit dyslexic.
All right. Here's an idea.
Okay.
There's 2 NBA play-in games tonight.
All right.
So you go home tonight and sit in front of your television and keep stats for both games to give you a little bit of repetition before you do the game.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to try out for my best friend. I'm out.
I like it.
Forget it. And I also have a Yankee game to do, Mike.
Listen to your voice. It's just turned ugly all of a sudden.
Yeah. Do you hear the privilege? Do you hear the privilege there, Mike?
Wow.
As a great...
There's always such warmth in your voice when you talk to me, and that was not warm.
Well, it's hurtful. It's hurtful.
Well, as a great man...
I'm 4 months older than you. Have a little respect.
Boy, your voice is going up several octaves now, too.
Well, as a great man once said, let's get back to nuts and bolts basketball, shall we, Mike?
Thank you.
Outside of Brunson, who has to have a big series for the Knicks in order for them to win?
Well, this is one time where I won't pick one other guy because that's what makes this team so good. They're so connected, and as connected as pretty much any team I've seen. They've got a great feel for each other. So, certainly Dante DiVincenzo has to provide scoring. Without Julius Randle, he's had to provide scoring, and he's done that. Josh Hart has to provide rebounding. Without Julius Randle, you need a strong rebounder. He's been terrific, plus all his intangibles. Same thing with DiVincenzo. Defensively and offensively, they have so much to do, so they both have to be there. Isaiah Hartenstein has been one of the most underappreciated role players in the entire league. The guy has been, what he's done for this team, I'd be afraid to see what the team would be like without him. Once Mitchell Robinson went down, and he said, I've been ready for this, the guy's been spectacular. And then you add an OG Anunoby, who is, if he reached the minimum, he didn't reach the minimum to get considered for any award. There's no question in my mind he deserves to be on an all-NBA defensive team. He changes an entire team's defense because he's such a great individual defender, and he's just as good as a help defender as well. And then throw in some of the others, too. You need some punch off the bench when Jalen Brunson is sitting on the bench. The non-Brunson minutes are going to be critical during the entire series. So for this is one team I'm going to say is not one X factor, one key guy. They all have to keep playing and doing a little bit extra than they were supposed to do when the season began.
Now, I'm going to give you a chance, Mike, because you did something a couple of years ago that was terrific. You got all the play-by-play guys together, and we had dinner. And the star of that dinner was John, telling stories, John Sterling. So he's going to have
one of the most enjoyable nights. I'll never forget that night.
Such a great thing that you put together. And tomorrow's going to have a day at Yankee Stadium. What are your thoughts? Can you even imagine, Mike? We've talked about this off there. Actually working at 85. So what are your thoughts on John saying that's it? It's enough.
Well, I called him that day and told him I hope he realizes, number one, this remarkable career that he had. The most unique play-by-play guy that we've ever heard, certainly here in New York and probably throughout. And how he never changed. He always remained the same. Even with his style, sometimes he would get criticism, but he could care less. He would just do it his way, and he always did it his way. And my favorite thing about him is that he always broadcast with such joy. You knew that he was having the time of his life every single time he went on the air. And I think that's probably why, I heard you guys talking earlier about surprised that he's he's retiring because his voice is still as strong as ever. I think if the joy was a little bit less because the travel was so hard for him, he didn't want to do it anymore because his joy came through that microphone every single time he was on the air.
He is, the best way, the one word I keep seeing pop up and everybody saying such nice things about John, he's unique. I don't think anybody's done it like him before, and I don't think anybody can do it like him again. He's a singular talent, and he did things his way, and he did things against the grain, and I think he ended up being loved because of it.
Oh, right. And to have this kind of career with the number one franchise in all of sports was just tremendous. And I also love the fact that he made the call and that it was his decision. Because often that's hard at the end, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whether you're a broadcaster, whatever it is. How often is the decision have to be made for you, and you never want that. But he went out the way he wanted to go out.
And how about your buddy Mike Gorman in Boston? I mean, an incredible run. 46 years, Mike?
I don't know. I think it might be 43.
Okay.
I spoke to him yesterday as well, and I can't wait. I'm doing the Boston game on Sunday. I can't wait to see him because I haven't seen him in a couple of months. Mike Gorman not only is a legendary broadcaster, but he's as fine a man as I've ever met. He is just one of the special people, and when I got into the league, he was so welcoming and supportive. And, Michael, as you know, that means so much when you first start broadcasting games, and he's already this established veteran. And I always tell the story, when I first started doing games, I would tell my wife, Roseanne, I met this person, I met that person. And I could have told her I met Michael Jordan, and it wouldn't have meant as much when I told her I met Mike Gorman, because that's even before all the NBA stuff. What he did on Big Monday for the Big East broadcasting, he spurred a lot of people's interest in it. That was such a huge job at the time, and she was a Villanova grad, and it was somebody that was larger than life for a lot of people back then. And I've never met a more humble guy in the business than Mike Gorman.
Mike, why don't you and I, when we go out together?
Same day?
Yeah, why not?
You know what? It'll be
the two mics leaving together. Two mics, drop the mic.
All right. Do you have any idea? Can you give me a time frame? What if we don't want to do it at the same time?
Well, one of us is going to have to give in.
Michael wants to do it. Michael wants to put a Comrex in the coffin with him. So
I'm curious, Mike. Was it just the situation that you became?
Good line. Wait a minute. That's a good line.
You encourage him. Thanks, Mike.
I just know. Was it circumstances, Mike, that you became close, or was Michael a different person in Fordham?
He saw that I was in need of a friend.
Because I would think,
I won't go into the long, boring story.
Because I would think the antics in this interview, I would be like, I don't know if I want to hang with this guy.
Well, you know what, Don? You have the mistaken impression that people that are really close have to be the same person. Mike and I are different.
Well, no, but just
it's our differences that we love.
Begging to do stats, and it's off-putting.
Oh, I have a question. When I used to wear the reindeer sweater, would you describe me as yummy, like you talked about somebody earlier?
Great point.
See, that's
great point.
First of all, it's Rick DiPietro. Show some respect. And no, you weren't yummy. You were far from yummy.
Okay.
Would you want to be called yummy?
No, not by him.
Well, how about when I was wearing a snorkel coat? Was I yummy?
No, I wouldn't use that word to describe you.
Well, look, Mike listened to the whole show. I love this.
I really respect that. That's cool.
It is wonderful.
It's research, like a statistician before a game.
Exactly. And, Michael, by the way, I don't want to ruin your dreams, but Mike Breen can't retire with you.
Why? We came in the same year.
Yeah, but a lot has happened since then.
Oh,
and how do I say this?
I don't know.
You guys are both legendary, incredible broadcasters, but there are certain people you don't rub the right way. And Mike Breen has a pristine reputation.
Yeah, it is.
He doesn't want to get caught up getting ripped by Mushnick and the paper and all these people when you retire. He needs to have his own space so he doesn't get dragged in to all the Michael Kay of it all. It's too risky. I'm sorry.
I don't like that, Peter. Now I'm determined for us to go out at the same time.
All right. Well,
You
just
see what I
remember
put
this
up with
conversation.
constantly, Mike? This little irritant.
I mean, listen, you did it. Michael, let me ask you a question, Mike. Mike, did you happen to read Phil Mushnick yesterday?
He doesn't write on Thursday. He writes today.
When did it? Well, you texted me last night.
Well, it comes out on Thursday, but it's in the Friday paper.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know Mike Breen lived in olden times. He might have seen it last night.
This is always my favorite part of appearing on the show, when I don't speak for like 5 minutes and you guys just have your own thing going back and forth. It's actually very entertaining, and this is probably the least amount of actual basketball we've talked in one of these. So it's a nice change of pace.
I'm picking the Knicks in 6. Am I right?
I never, ever, ever predict series. I've never done it all these years. I won't do it.
Do I have a chance to be right?
Of course you do.
Okay. Really going out on a limb, Mike.
No, but he's going to be calling these games. He doesn't need that on him.
Tell Mike what you said right before he came on, that you were surprised he answered Peter yesterday.
I am. I'm a little taken aback by it. Because I don't think you text me back. That's what it really came down to. I thought it was wrong for Peter out of the blue to just text you. Who is he?
What?
First
and I really
off,
thought Michael would put a stop to it.
Text. I appreciated his text, and he does text me every once in a while. We've had established a nice friendship.
But you know these are flex texts. That's what they are.
And Don, we've even broadcast the same games with the Knicks, and I've never received a text from you.
Oh,
I don't want to bother you because what am I doing? Like I said, these are flex texts. Somebody just tell me, look who I'm texting. I don't want to bother you. I got to tell you, it was an honor, though.
Another guest coming up?
No, nobody is.
I got to tell you, it was.
You're staying on.
It was an honor to be able to call a game that you're calling. I was over my skis.
No, I don't know. You did a great job. We loved having you.
Oh well, thank
Mike,
you.
will you watch the Yankees against the Rays tonight?
No.
No, I've got to watch the play-in games.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a good answer.
And he's a Met guy. You got to be thrilled. After Michael
the
was
Mets are on a 10-10.
But Michael was hanging on the rim a couple of weeks ago, giving shots. Mets are getting no hit in that doubleheader against Detroit. Look at their 0-5.
Their own announcer did
Yankees
shots.
Are 6-1.
I didn't.
Peter, was he taking shots or not?
He hung on the rim a little bit.
And since then, the Mets are 10-3. You got to be thrilled with what they're doing, Mike. I know you're busy, but
without our best pitcher and one of our best hitters having even played a single inning.
That's because you signed him late.
That's all right.
He's getting injections in his
coming.
back. Let's not forget.
Cavalry is coming.
There you go.
Have a great game tomorrow, Mike. I wish I could be there doing stats, but it doesn't seem like that's your plan.
Are you going to the game?
I don't have tickets. I would love to go. I'd love to take my son, but I have no tickets, and it's sad.
Oh,
he is.
This is so pathetic.
All right. Well, hopefully I'll get some text.
Yeah, I love it. Good. That's right. Wrap it up.
Have a great call, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Listen, this guy knows sports radio. He's been in it forever, and he listened to our show and enjoys our show. That's not nothing.
And doesn't have a meter. Hey, it's Michael K. I love when I get to talk.
We just signed the lease on our third shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We've worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to customink.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our custom ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at customink.com.
You done yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling through videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something new, why not change those shades that have been broken for the past 2 years? Let's tap the Thumbtack app, and in a matter of seconds, we'll find a pro to install new shades.
Okay.
With Thumbtack, you can easily find top-rated professionals for every home project.
Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Never read a line of poetry, I'm not a poet, but I sit up in the back of my buttons cause I'm fresh. Never read a book on how to rip it, I just saw it, I don't need your explanation cause I'm better than the rest. better than the rest. Let me take you for a ride. I can make you feel alive.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Growing up, I always wanted to do so many things.
I wanted to be a vet.
I wanted to be an actor.
When I was really little, I don't know why, but I wanted to be a pastor. When I was like a small child.
I wanted to be a celebrity by any means necessary.
This is Spike Drop Vegas Heist.
These players are playing for a lot of money today.
I'm only here for 2 feet. I don't really care about any other place. Can't even comprehend what is going on, but I like it.
New season, new reasons to say yes.
This is star power. Wow.
Cole dials it up. What a home run for Soto. Aaron Judge crushes one. Get all the Yankees action. The Yes app.
As always, you're a step ahead. Turn up the fun full throttle in Toyota's all-electric BZ4X with available all-wheel drive. So charge up, hop in, and let's go. Yours, BZ4X.
For a limited time, lease BZ4X for only $119 a month or get 0% APR plus $2,500 TFS APR subvention cash. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
We all want to feel safe when traveling. That's why if you see something that feels suspicious, such as an abandoned bag or erratic behavior from a passenger, just call 911. You can call anonymously, and it's okay if it turns out to be nothing. Work together with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to keep our transportation facilities safe. Visit PANYNJ.gov to learn more.
With features you won't find on Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, or Subaru Forester, the Hyundai Tucson puts the other guys in their place. Namely, the rear-view mirror. Only a Tucson compares to a Tucson. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month, or get 3.79% APR, or up to $2,500 bonus cash. Hurry, offers end soon.
I have sickle cell. I've had lots and lots of blood transfusions over my lifetime. I'm most grateful that people are willing to go out there and take their time, their blood, and give me new life.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. The Yankees coming home to start a 6-game homestand is brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. After salvaging the last game up in Toronto with a comeback win, the Yankees start a 3-game series with another in-division rival tonight when they see the Rays for the first time this season. On the hill for both squads, it'll be Clark Schmidt and Tyler Alexander. Each starter will be looking for their second victory of the season. Our coverage on Yes commences with the batting practice show at 6, followed by the pregame, and then first pitch comes your way a little after 7. It's the Yankees and the Rays from the Big Ball Yard in the Bronx. Tonight, coverage starting at 6 with BPTV, right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
the Michael K. Show on 98.7 ESPN is brought to you by Genesis of White Plains, proud member of the Pepe Auto Group, the name you've trusted since 1968. Don, I haven't asked you. I kind of like the Met City Connect uniforms. I mean, they're not the Met uniforms, and it seems like every team is going to do it. But it's a black uniform. It says NYC across the front. The hat looks pretty sharp. But you're the Met fan. What do you think?
So curious if Don is going to say he completely agrees or just absolutely eviscerates you right now.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Now, there's both could be true. It does look kind of sharp, but not for the Mets. Mets have their colors. I don't understand why these City Select have to be completely opposite of what your colors are. And the thing I hate about the Players Weekend and the Orange Fridays or the Black Fridays, Orange Saturday, I believe, and you could agree, disagree, I don't care. I think the Mets pinstripe uniforms are gorgeous. It's what I grew up with. I always loved that color blue. I love the orange. I love everything about the Mets jerseys, and I even like their road jerseys too. Not the script NY, the ones that they wear now and the ones that they wore back when they first came into the league. So anytime they play with it, I just don't, it bothers me. It just does. Now, they look sharp for, if a new team came in the league or whatever, but purple is not their color. So you're telling me you can only have the City Select has to represent the city. Well, part of the reason the Mets are orange and blue is because that's the New York City colors. I never found the concrete to be attractive. I'm sorry. Oh, we want the gray to represent the concrete of the city. I don't find concrete attractive. I'm good.
But okay, so you don't. Let me ask Peter because he's much more stylish than you.
Here we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peter, these are nice. I mean, listen, they're not their uniforms. I get it.
Right.
So you always they're not like the Boston ones that look ridiculous.
Yeah, those
these
are stupid.
These are handsome looking uniforms.
But didn't I say that, Peter?
Yeah.
But why don't you like it?
He's just saying he's not into the change, and I get it.
They're showing it now on, yes, it's like NY in purple. That's not their color. So if you wanted to come up with a City Select jersey that had the blue and the orange or whatever, but why does it have to go completely opposite of what your organization represents?
Okay. If you want to hate it, you're fine.
I understand exactly what he's saying. And now listen, of course it's not the repugnant Boston Red Sox jersey, which is just an absolute embarrassment. Right. He likes these. He's just saying he doesn't need it.
But you know what the Red Sox is? The Red Sox uniform plays off the Boston Marathon. The font of the word Boston, the whole thing.
I don't care what it plays on.
Well, don't go there.
Me?
No, Michael.
Yeah, don't go there. I'm trying to explain what the uniform. I don't like the uniform either.
Ugly's ugly.
Whether it's connected to charity, whether it's all of that stuff, it's just not the move. It's just not good.
Okay. It's like somebody ugly and say, well, that's how God wanted to make him. Well, God made him ugly. If you want to say that represents the Boston Marathon, okay, they're still ugly.
That's the thing. You hear that? You understand?
Oh, no, we're supposed to go, well, okay, it's not ugly anymore because it represents the Boston Marathon. No, it's still putrid.
I think it's ugly, too, but there was a reason behind it. They didn't just say, let's come up with yellow.
I know, but it's just silly. I got a message from Mike Breen.
Okay.
He texted me a few minutes ago, and he said, hey, Peter, great being on with you today. Please thank Michael and Don for me, your friend, Mike.
See? And now what bothers me is he has my number. But
he does bring up a good point. You call the same game as him, and you didn't text him, hey, can I, any advice? Can you help me out with the other team?
I'm not going to bother. He's Mike Breen.
But, okay, I would say, although you don't like to put me on that level, I'm a good friend of yours. Yeah. Mike Breen is my best friend. So there's a connection there.
No, I understand it, but I'm not going to bug. I went down after the game. I went on the court and said hello to him and talked to him. I just don't. I don't feel, even though I've known him for 30 years, but I shouldn't say I met him 30 years ago when he did updates for Imus and he would literally relieve me on the overnights at the Fan.
Excuse me.
Oh Wait a minute. How else would you say if somebody comes in to take over for you on a shift, he's relieving you?
Well, this is the guy you always stick up for, Don. He turns everything into a filth fest.
But people, that's the right phrasing.
But he can't help himself.
Well, that's his problem. I don't want to get caught up in his muck and myrrh and all that garbage. The fact is that he did. He came in. He did updates for Imus. I did the 540 update. And
then he relieved you.
And I was intimidated by him. And
no, but you know what? You know what this is about, Michael?
What's it about?
This is about something that drives me crazy about Don. It comes from a great place, okay? Don is a really humble guy. But at a certain point sometimes it crosses into a bridge too far. A little too humble to act that he shouldn't be on the level of reaching out to Mike Breen. Who am I? What do I have to say to you? Your colleagues. You share one of the most important people in both of your lives is the same guy. I mean, you guys are very directly connected, and you kind of feel like you don't belong. And sometimes it makes me want to slap you across the face and go,
I hear what he's saying.
You're done.
Again, I'm getting attacked by Met fans. You know, the purple Mets uniform is for the 7 train. I know it's all representing the city, but I understand the 7. But it's the Mets have their colors.
I wonder if you're really a Met fan, Don. No wonder Met fans attack you.
Because he doesn't like he doesn't like the City Connect. Come on.
No, because you see, it's almost like I do a show in a vacuum here. You just wait for me to stop talking and then you jump in. You know that I hate apologists fans. If I think my team stinks, I'm going to say they stink. If I think they're going to lose, they're going to lose. If I hate the draft pick, I hate the draft. I hate fans that they love everything their team does. I love the Mets more than them because I love the uniform. It's what I grew up with. I love that blue. I love the color scheme. Why give me something that away from one of the things that are the fabric of the organization? I don't care about. I don't take the 7 train to the game.
If the Mets sent you
make
one
it
of
green
those
for the
jerseys,
turnpike, that's what I take.
If they sent you one of those jerseys, right?
Yes.
You wouldn't throw it on in the pool while you're barbecuing?
I'd give it away.
Oh.
What?
Let's go to Rick. I don't get it. Let's go to Richard in Manhattan.
You really don't get it, but Richard, you'll get. Go ahead, Richard.
Hi, Michael, Don, Peter. This morning, did you guys get a chance to listen to Dave Rothenberg?
Oh, yeah.
He was going on. His cousin's daughter is having a bat mitzvah tomorrow, so it's going to coincide with the Knick game.
Okay.
Now he spent an hour trying to figure out how he can get a TV in the venue after the synagogue, and how he can watch the game.
He doesn't have a phone?
He doesn't have a smartphone?
On the phone, on the laptop, all these different machinations. I couldn't believe it. Fellas, am I thinking wrong? Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
What does Dave Rothenberg do for a living?
We don't know.
Sports talk
He
radio.
talks on the radio.
Right.
The radio is his bread and butter. What was the big deal for tomorrow? For 2 hours, you bring a nice transistor radio or a plug-in radio and just go off to the side and listen to the game on the radio. That's how he makes his money. I don't understand why he has to watch the game.
Because he's going to take this. Well, he's not going to take it the wrong way. It's the right way because he's simple. Because Dave Dan Grassa told him, he got your phone. It's going to be on the way. He's so worried about going. The bar has a TV. What is it, 1974? He's got a phone. Forget about transistor radio. He can watch the game on his phone. What is the matter with him?
Now I'm gonna return serve right back at Richard. So while Don, your point's correct. It's so easy to do your phone. Richard, the transistor radio. As much as I love radio, and it certainly pays my bills as well, you can't sit at a bar mitzvah with the radio. If he's at the party and he has a radio on, people are going to try to talk to him. It doesn't make any sense. What makes sense is you move to 2024, okay? You fall on the toilet, you invent the flux capacitor, you come to the future that we live in right now. You pull out your phone, you open up whatever TV watching apparatus you have on there, which basically everyone has. I know Dave has an iPhone. He texts in blue. And you just pull it up every few minutes. You check out the game for a minute. You put it away. It's not that hard.
What did I do?
You won't be the only one.
Peter, what did I do with the ESPN executives?
You ignored them and watched the Canadians game.
But did I wander off to look for a bar with a TV?
No.
Like a gentleman, I took the phone out and I watched the game. Listen, he doesn't care about his surroundings. At least he'll be able to stay at the table. This is a guy that's going to get up from his table, disappear at the bar, and watch the game. He could actually still be there with his family and have the game on the phone. I mean, I don't get
Also, how about being in the moment? I mean, come on, it's the first game. DVR it.
Honestly.
I mean, it's an important family member's bat mitzvah. I mean, grow up.
I get. Listen, I get that he's a diehard, but you're right. It's game 1. You can watch on your phone. I can see if it's game 7 or it's an elimination game. 1.
No, this is where Dave loses me, because he has the crazy rules about football, but then when he starts applying it to a basketball game 1, you start to go, is the whole thing an act? Well, why do you have to be that way for game 1? Like, you could, by the way, you could even DVR the game, so you keep an eye on the score during it, and then later, if you really want to prepare for your show and go back and watch it, you could go back and watch it. But come on, this isn't that big a deal.
Oh, and this has nothing to do with
I do wonder sometimes if he does it for effect.
Starting to feel that way. You know what I mean?
I'm listening to it this morning, and again, they do a phenomenal job, and I thought Dan did a good job filling in for Rick. And I'm like, what year is it? That you're worried about? Does the restaurant have a TV? Like, who even thinks that way anymore?
Now, can I do a little long-term tease, and we can't really give away the specifics.
Really?
But everybody out there, I want you to know, you've all wanted it, I've wanted it, he's wanted it, but me and Rick DiPietro are doing a show together.
Wow.
Information will become available as time moves forward, but there will be a Rick and Mike show.
Really?
Yep.
This would be like listening, not watching, listening to a porn movie.
Oh, my God.
Because they're going to be going at each other.
Yeah, it might be unbearable.
Yeah, I would.
Or it could be fantastic. It could be the future.
I'm good.
We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know.
We don't know. But listen and check your local listings, because you will find out there's going to be a Rick and Mike show.
I think there's going to be all different kinds of different combinations.
I don't care about any of that. It's a Rick and Mike show that people are going to care
I'm just talking to Peter. Peter, I think there's going to be all different kind of combinations.
I've heard things about that as well.
Some of them you'll go, wow, that's interesting. And some of them you'll go, I got to listen to that.
Well, some of the ones that you have done, and you're going to, what? I don't really want to do that, but we'll see when it all comes out. Peter, how about FanDuel, bud?
Sure, I do.
We did the always famous, never boring win-loss win game on May 12th.
Yeah, so around the same time. It's probably around the schedule.
Well, the schedule came out on the 11th. We did it on the 12th. But today, schedule's leaking out today, and we're going to do it today.
Well, I think we should still give the Giants, unless you want to give the Giants schedule while doing it.
No. Yeah, while doing it.
Okay.
Rather than be cumbersome. All right, so we gave you the Jets. Monday Night Football, Week 1, at the 49ers. I say loss.
That's a loss.
Wow. Do we even go on from here?
What are you trying to say?
All right, so that's 3 losses. Sunday, September 15th, at the Titans. I say win.
That's a win.
Sure. Win.
Week 3, Thursday Night Football against the Patriots at home. Win.
Yeah, it's a win.
Week 4, Sunday, September 29th, at home against the Broncos. I say win.
Win.
Week 5, October 6th, at the Vikings in London. J.J. McCarthy behind center.
Win.
I'm going to give them a loss there.
I'm going to give them a win.
Nice.
All right. Week 6, against the Bills, Monday Night Football at home. Loss.
Home against the Bills?
Yep. They always beat the Bills.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a win. At home.
I'm going with a loss.
Sunday, October 20th, at the Steelers, Sunday Night Football.
Oh, that's a loss.
That's a win for me.
I will go win.
Okay. Week 8, at the Patriots, Sunday. Win.
Win, baby.
Just win.
Week 9, Thursday Night Football. Halloween edition against the Texans at home. I'm going to give them a loss.
I agree.
I didn't hear you. Say against who again?
At home.
I'm going to give them a loss, too. Texans tough this year.
Week 10, Sunday, November 10th at the Cardinals. I'm saying that's a win.
I agree. Win.
Week 11, Sunday Night Football again against the Colts, November 17th. I say that is a win.
And where is that?
At the Colts. No, at home.
Win.
Win, baby.
Week 12, bye. Week 13, win. Sunday, December 1st against the Seahawks. Win.
Loss.
They don't have a... Okay. They have a new coach.
Win.
Win. Okay. Here we go. Week 14, Sunday, December 8th at the Dolphins. Loss.
Yes, I agree.
Loss.
Week 15, Sunday, December 15th at the Jaguars.
Oh, Jaguar.
I'm going to say loss.
I'm going to say win.
Win.
Week 16, Sunday, December 22nd against the Rams at home. Win.
Yeah, give them a win.
Week 17, Sunday, December 29th at the Bills. I'm going to give them a win.
I'm going to give them a loss because I had them winning at home, so.
I'm going to give them a loss just because.
And then the big one, Saturday or Sunday against the Dolphins at home. I'm going to give them a loss.
I'm going to give them a win because I had them losing at Miami, so.
With the world watching, it's a big old W.
All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3.
I'm 11
4,
and 6.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 and 7.
I'm 11 and 6.
And Peter is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 and 5 for Peter.
Really?
Yeah. Jerk.
He's disgusted with
He should be. And Don, you're 11 and 6.
I think
Pinhead Suit has it.
Yeah. 17 and 0.
He says, I think it's a good chance the Jets can start 6 and 2, perhaps finish 11 and 6 overall.
6 and 1.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with my 11 and 6. Before I went into this, I thought that there'd be a 10 or 11 win team, obviously with a healthy Rodgers. 12, I think Peter's out of his mind.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, I just want to say, if Rodgers is lost again, just reverse the number for me.
I think that's...
But, there is no Zach Wilson, so don't worry.
Right. All right, so let's go with the G-Men.
All right, let me see if I can
Big Blue
find
Wrecking
that.
Crew.
If you will.
The New York Football Giants.
Wait. Hold on. This whole conversation's been football? I got to start over again.
What do you think we're doing? The Winnipeg Jets?
Yeah, I thought it was the Winnipeg Jets and the baseball Giants of oldie times.
Okay, here we go. Giants schedule. Unofficial in the Post.
Sure, why not?
September 8th at home against the Vikings. I'm going to give them a win.
That's a win.
Win.
Sunday, September 15th at the Commanders. Big W for me.
Yeah, that's a win.
No, that's a loss.
Gutless. Sunday, September 22nd at the Browns. I say loss.
That's a loss.
Loss.
Thursday Night Football, Week 4 against the Cowboys at home. I say that's a loss.
That's a loss.
Big win. Cowboys stink.
Sunday, October 6th at the Seahawks. Win.
Loss.
Loss.
Wow. You guys are thinking highly of a no Pete Carroll team.
Okay, why don't we just relax?
Sunday Night Football. Sunday, October 13th against the Bengals. I say loss.
Loss.
Against the Bengals?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow and the Bengals?
Yeah.
That's a loss.
Week 7. Sunday, October 20th against the Eagles. Give me a win.
At the Eagles?
No. I would have said at the Eagles if it was.
I know, but I
Home Eagles, and you're giving him a win?
I'm giving him a win.
No, I'm giving him a big old fat loss.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Can you make it 2?
They are going to hold Saquon Barkley to 31 yards on the ground on 30 carries. Week 8, October 28th at the Steelers. Monday Night Football. Loss.
I mean, I just can't have every game. I'm going to say win just because I can't have that.
No, I like it too, Don. I'm going to throw him a little win there too. Why not?
Sunday, November 3rd, at home against the Commanders. Another win. Commanders stink. You have a win, Don?
Yes.
No, it's a loss. They're getting swept by the commies this year. Jaden Daniels, MVP. A lot going on.
Also, that primetime game in Pittsburgh is going to be the Mark Cannizzaro Memorial Game.
Why?
Not that he's passed on. Is that I have the Giants won in Pittsburgh on a Monday night game, and they were showing George Young, and next to George Young was a young Mark Cannizzaro just devouring a hot dog. And I've got it on tape, and it's hilarious, and I always think about that when the Giants play the Steelers. I love you, Mark.
Week 10, Sunday, November 10th, at the Carolina Panthers. It's in Munich, Germany, by the way. I'm going to give the Giants a win.
The Giants the Giants in Germany, it just works.
Throw the records away.
Win.
When you see a big NFC East, NFC South clash in Frankfurt or Munich, Germany, you throw the record books out and you pick the G-men.
Week 11 is a bye. Week 12, Sunday, November 24th, against the Tampa Bay Bucks at home. I'm going to give them a win.
Win.
Oh, you know what? A big old fat W.
Thanksgiving, November 28th, at the Cowboys. Loss.
What's more than a loss?
They'll lose twice.
Week 14, Sunday, December 8th, against the New Orleans Saints. Win.
Loss.
Wow. Week 15, Sunday, December 15th, against the Ravens at home. I say loss.
That's a loss. Although they beat them last year at home, but still, I'm with you. Loss.
Ravines, loss.
Then, Sunday, December 22nd, at the Falcons. I'm going to give them a win.
Yeah, I win as well.
Against the Falcons?
Remember, that's Kirk Cousins' Falcons.
Yeah, loaded at the quarterback position. That's a loss.
Loaded at Jace.
Week 17, December 28th or the 29th, Saturday or Sunday against the Colts at home. Win. Week 18, Saturday or Sunday, January 4th or January 5th at the Eagles. That's a loss.
No, Eagles have the division wrapped up. They sit everyone. The Giants get a win.
Interesting.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have them 10 and 7.
I'm 9 and 8.
You're a fool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Here's the realistic
7, 8,
number.
9 and 8. Peter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 and 10.
I guarantee you I just nailed that. I guarantee you.
I was going to say, he feels a lot better about that than he does his Jets.
I hate my Jets. I hate my Jets pick. But that's because doing the Jets thing is ridiculous, because we're going under this misguided assumption that this lunatic is going to play quarterback full season.
Wait a minute.
I have no reason to believe that he will. Whereas the Giants, I know what they are. The Giants,
how can you say that? No, seriously. Because Daniel Jones is just as likely to get hurt as Aaron Rodgers.
Are you saying this because of the Tucker Carlson interview? Is that what you're doing?
Well, no, I just moved to the Giants for Lord's sake. And no, Tucker Carlson has nothing to do with it. I don't care. I don't care about the man's belief system. This notion, to me, the assumption that the Jets will play a full season with Aaron Rodgers is a silly thing to assume.
So you're going with silly?
How about absurd?
I like silly. It's softer.
How about wishful? If you want to go very optimistic. I'm not saying it can't happen. I hope it does happen. But I don't have my brain. It's very hard to picture. You guys honestly look into the future. And you picture a year from now, we're looking back on the 16, 17 games that Aaron Rodgers has played. He threw up 4,000 yards. He just looked like the old A-Raj. Is that what is going to happen?
That's how they're betting.
Yeah, I just can't picture it. I wish
I could. The NFL's thinking is that they got him 6 primetime games.
Oh, they love him. Brought to you by our friends tonight over at Security Dodge. Go see Michelle Scalisi.
Come get some.
Yeah.
I'd like to start off on this very, very important ENN. No ENN like a WrestleMania Friday ENN, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially after the Yankees just had a 3-0 home opening shutout, which hasn't happened in 50 years. That's when you know it's big. We start off by saying good evening to Michael.
Now that I'm here, please do what you should have been doing before.
And good evening to Don.
I don't know, maybe I'm 30 minutes from the epicenter. I say it like EpiPen.
And good evening to Don.
That was slop. I made all kinds of things work.
And good evening to myself. All of a sudden, she was twerking in bed.
Mm.
And good evening to Richard.
Between him, they're over 160 years old.
Who was he talking about?
Caller.
John and Susan.
John and Susan.
Semi-sweet chocolate morsels.
Then we say good evening to the caller.
I went right to the baseball encyclopedia.
And good evening to the other caller.
His name is Michael.
That might be something. Anthony, did you get the other drop of Don that I thought you and I were on the same page on, but we didn't discuss?
Apparently not.
I guess not. When Michael mentioned seeing 150 fans, and Don, what was the word he used under his breath?
All morons.
All morons.
But he was wrong.
He didn't even rate.
I need you to go get it. I don't know. Don didn't know where the story was going, and he just jumped right to all morons.
Because I thought he was going to say that everybody had the name on the back.
No, I mean, they're coming around.
I think I want to have a positive influence on the fan base.
I think you are, Don. Generally speaking, I think you really
it's
are.
EpiPen, Epicenter.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm going to miss doing this show.
Where are you going? Just the weekend, right? Just a couple of days, right?
Yeah, just a couple of days I'll miss, yeah.
That is so unfortunate. We're going to miss you, Michael. We didn't know you were going anywhere.
Oh, is there news to have your word or
days,
something?
there's no show unless you want to throw together a podcast.
You're talking about the weekend.
Yeah.
Sure.
Michael will never throw together a podcast. That's when I know the world's coming to an end, when Michael's promoting his podcast.
Michael announces his podcast. Well,
I'll tell you what, there are a lot of signs, though, that these are close to the end days.
Oh.
Yeah. Today wasn't a great day.
No.
And then you got a total eclipse of the sun.
We've seen a bunch of people tweet, Michael, like the whole thing itself is like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but the actual really dark, the totality is like 2.5 minutes.
Right, but I don't think you should be looking at the sun during those 2 hours.
Well, that's probably why they moved the game from 2 to 6.
But my point is, they should have known.
They should have known. Well, they're giving away T-shirts, Eclipse T-shirts.
Wow.
On Monday.
Yeah, I'd probably prefer they give away like sunglasses than the T-shirt. You know what I mean?
What do they call Don again? Yo-yo sunglasses? Yo-yo glasses?
Exactly, yo-yo glasses.
And Nancy bought some. We're all ready.
Oh, she got glasses to look?
Yes.
But the sad part is, people are going to damage their eyes, because if you tell people don't look at it, they'll look at it.
But this is how you like. Then you get what you get, right? If you're that stupid, then go ahead. By all means, enjoy yourself.
Peter, you conducting mass later? I see you wearing all black.
It's a tuxedo. I'm going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, are you going in the Hall of Fame, or are you just attending?
Do you think I'm going into the Hall of Fame?
Could that day come?
It will come.
I'll have to go to another. There'll have to be another stage of my career that we haven't gotten to yet.
Like you have to actually wrestle?
No, I don't even. Not that, because there are plenty of people in the Hall of Fame who never wrestled.
What did Ali do to get in?
Oh my! Well, he first of all was the guest referee in WrestleMania 1, which was a huge deal in the tag match in WrestleMania 1. Ali was a focal point of that. Not to mention, he famously had a match with Antonio Inoki. Do you remember? You don't remember that? That he had like a wrestling match?
That ended up hurting him a lot, hurting his legs.
Yeah,
because the wrestler kept kicking him in the legs.
Yeah, so he actually, and he was a huge fan. So the War of the Worlds was his big match with Antonio Inoki in Tokyo.
And that was a WWF event?
No, it wasn't.
Just a wrestling event.
Just a big wrestling event, but 32,000 people. It was also broadcast, guys, on closed-circuit television to nearly 33,000 fans. Where?
33.
Shea Stadium.
Oh, wow.
On closed circuit, yeah.
You know what I stumbled upon like a couple of afternoons ago, getting ready to leave for work, and almost made me late for work? When We Were Kings, the documentary. That's epic. You ever see that, Michael?
I think I have seen it. Yes, it was great.
Really, it goes back to, I think, 96. It is it's a terrific documentary.
Okay, so not to alarm everyone.
Okay.
But they're saying that what you just felt was not an aftershock, but a 4.0 Richter scale earthquake in what town in New Jersey, Anthony?
Gladstone, New Jersey.
Gladstone.
So this is another earthquake?
That's what they're saying. That was another small earthquake.
Whew.
So how do you know the difference between an aftershock and another earth? I guess because it's a different location, but it's the same
maybe
fault.
the severity of it.
Wow.
Let's see. I mean, and if I was really on the, pessimistic side, I would say, wouldn't this be the perfect setup to, like, these are both little ones because then a big one's going to actually hit?
Does it work that way?
I don't know.
Now, this is around the same area as the original. So, I don't know the difference. They know better.
Is that close to your house?
I'm 27 minutes away. I just looked it up.
Michael,
I didn't feel
know
anything.
that. Michael, you didn't know that Ramapo was responsible for earthquakes, did you?
I had no idea.
Yeah. What's it called, Don? The Ramapo fault line?
Yeah.
Literally?
Yeah.
Michael, can you believe there's a Ramapo fault line?
Well, that's the region.
I've got so many lines, I'm not going to say it. So, yeah, I can believe it. There are probably 150 people wearing Yankee jerseys.
Morons.
You
really should take that back, Don, because
they weren't even that. It wasn't even accurate.
Yeah, because I thought he was going to say wearing with the name on the back, and then I would stand by it. But now, so that you should get rid of that drop because it's going to make people think I'm calling Yankee fans. No.
That's not how this whole thing works.
That's not how drops work. No, that's not how drops work.
Listen, out of context, funny. Out of context, making somebody look stupid. That's all up for grabs. Out of context, where you're sending the wrong message. Where now I can get Yankee fans mad at me because they think I'm calling Yankee fans morons. No, if I have any say, that's got to be deleted from the system.
No, I didn't cut it to begin with.
So 13 minutes ago, after the second earthquake, the Empire State Building sent out a tweet, "I am still fine."
Really?
Yep.
Oh, boy. Thank God Almighty. I mean, did you guys see the horrible images earlier this week from the tsunami and earthquake that followed? That was terrifying. What are we all doing? You know what?
What does that mean, Anthony? Is it an aftershock or is it an earthquake?
Well, it's both. It's an aftershock earthquake. It is a 4.0 magnitude earthquake, which on the USGS you can actually see and track. The smaller 2 magnitude earthquakes or lower that some people in Jersey felt in the hours after the original earthquake wasn't on the USGS's website. I'm seeing this as a 4.0, but people are saying it is an aftershock.
That's what
earthquake.
An aftershock would be.
But 4.0 is a pretty strong aftershock.
But I had thought, again, the news I got earlier was that any aftershock would probably be less than 3.0. So it's odd that it was that strong. But
listen, I'll tell you a couple things we know on this show. Eclipses and earthquakes. These are the things you learn about when you listen to this program. Listen how depressed Gary Cohen is about the state of everything. This is on SNL.
Nobody in the ballpark. 1-5. Hitless through 7. Feels like rock bottom.
No.
Now, I got to tell you something, and this is a difficult thing for me to talk about because I'm a big fan of Gary's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go.
This is Game 5. And I'm telling you, I'm allowed to say what I want.
It was Game 6.
It was Game 6.
Yeah.
They were 0-5. It was in the 7th inning of Game 6.
Right.
If I said that, maybe I'm being dramatic here, there's a chance somebody would come into the booth and tase me and remove me. Mm-hmm. I mean, you are the spokesman for the team. And I'm not saying you have to be a cheerleader, but you're burying the team in the 6th game of the year. What if they win 20 in a row?
Well, I was in transit.
How's that going to age?
Now, I don't know. Maybe somebody could tell me. I need to know the context of what that was said, because what's said before and what's said after, I think, is important.
I think the context was they were shut out or they no hit for 13 innings.
But if the next thing he said was, it's only Game 6, and let's remember 2005. Like he might have.
I don't think he said that.
I don't know. Listen, it's been a bad couple of days. You saw one went viral when he rolled his eyes or made the face that he was out there announcing the game being postponed. That should have been postponed earlier.
I don't know if you heard this, but yesterday he was kind of lamenting that he wasn't calling Seton Hall's NIT game.
What do you mean?
Because
he's the Seton Hall radio announcer, and they won the NIT, and he was like lamenting why he's not there. You're the Met announcer. But so what if Seton Hall wins the NIT?
But that also could have been just circumstances because of the fact that was supposed to be an off day. So he's probably looking when they said they were going to the NIT. He's probably thinking, perfect. If they get to the championship, it's on an off day, and then it just turned out that not only is there one game, they got to make up 2 games. So that could just be lamenting the situation, not killing the Mets. But what that cut would have got. Listen, if I said that during a Ranger game, I'm getting called in. I think he might have gotten called in.
Well, no, but I don't think he will. You know why? Because Gary's in a perfect situation for many reasons. He's widely respected, right, as he should be.
Mm-hmm.
The Met fans love him, as they should. He works for SNY, which is not at all affiliated with the Mets anymore. Steve Cohen could be really angry. Everybody in the Mets could be really angry. They can't do anything. They don't have any say on it.
But we've all been in this situation. There's still a partnership.
I get it, but I mean, what are they going to do? The Wilpons own SNY, not Steve Cohen.
I understand, but
the Yankees own yes.
Right.
I mean, if you were a spokesman for a pizzeria, right? And you stood outside the pizzeria and said, "This stinks. This is awful. This is rock bottom pizza," the guy would fire you. If I said, and again, I am given incredible latitude, more so than anybody thinks. I mean, everybody, the raceman came up with Al Yank Zero or whatever. I'm allowed to say whatever I want. But if you go really far over the edge, you're gonna hear it.
But I'm sure there's a relationship between SNY and the Mets. And
no, there's not.
Well, but they're obviously in a partnership.
No, they're not.
Well, they're airing their games.
SNY pays the Mets a fee to broadcast their games.
Right, but they're in a partnership.
But what's the partnership?
That they get paid to air the games. Right,
but they don't have say over the announcer once the announcer's hired.
But you don't think that Steve Cohen can make a phone call and say, I don't appreciate him talking about our team? Now, what's the answer going to be? All right, we'll talk to him, or is that tough?
I don't know. It's a great question.
I would sure it'd probably be, all right, we'll talk to him. Now, they might talk to him on the square and say, listen, try to dial it down, Gary. And listen, Gary's a huge Met guy. I'm sure he felt bad about the way it came across. I'm sure he doesn't want to be that guy. But he was that guy in this series. I mean, during the rain delay, he looked like miserable that he was there. That look on his face was like very telling. And then he declared rock bottom in the 7th inning of Game 6. I mean, he's a tremendous announcer, but you are really, really tempting fate by doing stuff like that. This is going to be a rough year for the Mets. I think if anybody's expecting anything different, including Gary, they're going to be really disappointed. This is not a great team. But still, but he was describing how every Met fan felt.
That's true, and that's why I think he has that firewall.
Yeah.
But also, when you're an announcer for a team, do you want people to shut off the TV in the 7th inning? You just said it's rock bottom.
No, but it also, you could bring up the building empty. The building would be empty for anybody. It would be empty for the Yankees. If you had a doubleheader that wasn't even scheduled, it was an off day, then the second game, you're not going to have many people in the building, okay? So that's just that.
Right. Well, it wasn't an indicator of anything.
And it's freezing cold outside.
He was trying to describe a feeling, though, and I get the feeling. But you mentioned Seton Hall. Hey, they beat Indiana State to win the NIT title. Let me tell you, Richard from Manhattan was very excited about it.
Now, you mock it, right? Now, and Peter has been on this from the get-go. But you played in it, so you might as well try to win it.
Sure.
So, I mean, if you're like St. John's, they didn't want to play in it. But Seton Hall said, all right, I'll take it. So, congratulations, you won.
And I think there's some value to it if players come back.
Yeah, so...
They played in a quote-unquote championship game.
It's not nothing.
It is not nothing. Guys, we are just like 40 minutes away from the big women's doubleheader tonight, of course, at 9 o'clock. All eyes will be on Caitlin Clark in Iowa against UConn. Going to be a monster game. You guys think it beats the number from the other day?
I say no, but it's close. Just because there's a lot more competition.
I say no because of the time. A little too late. That game was 7 o'clock.
Let's hear from Caitlin Clark on her competition tonight, the great Paige Buchers.
I think the coolest thing about Paige is how resilient she is. Obviously, she's kind of been dealt a tough hand, and, that girl only has positive positive things to say about her teammates and the way she carries herself on and off the court, the way she works hard, and none of that has changed, since I've known her since she was in middle school. She's always worked that same way. She's always had that fire. She's always been a great leader, and I really honestly couldn't be happier for her in the year that she's had, and the way she's led this team back to the Final Four when they've kind of been dealt a tough hand as a program, and they never made excuses. And to me, I think that's something you just really admire as a competitor more than anything. So I think it's really cool.
Now, major error by you, Peter.
Oh, no.
Major.
What is that?
The U is silent. It's Paige Beckers.
Oh no. Is that honest?
Yeah.
Is that honestly an error by me or a family?
Is it what?
An error by me or a family?
Oh, that's a deep cut. I don't know, but the way the name is pronounced, you messed it up.
Wow, that is shameful, especially considering she'll be the face of college basketball next year after Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Bad.
No, it's going to be tough to get up from.
That would be like calling Ryan Rocco. I mean, really.
Well, I do call him Ruocco because I believe in pronouncing things the way they're spelled.
You like to say every letter too, so you said Bueckers.
But by the way, you know what? Don Brocquard. It's almost, I have a history that backs me up. That's the thing. Tom Thibodeau. Hey, thank you very much. There's so much evidence to this. But by the way,
like a table.
They at some point just made up we're going with Beckers. They had to. They were just like, yeah, because there's no way. At best case, it's Bueckers. At best case. Here is Paige Bueckers on Caitlin Clark.
I know Caitlin, of course, we go way back, Midwestern. We had a lot of battles in AAU and stuff like that. We played together on Team USA. I think she's just a competitor. She wants to win. She has just intangibles of the game. She knows how to play, great IQ. But I think the biggest thing about her, she competes, and she's just a winner. She wants to win at all costs. So I know going into that, it'll be a great matchup. But I'm excited. It's great for the game, and to be at this level on this high of stakes, to see where we were in AAU competing against each other. It's just really cool to see.
That is Paige Bueckers. And let's move on to Drop Madness. The final has been set, and Michael, unfortunately for us, shot went wide. Says goodbye.
Shame.
Cut his fat ass.
Screaming Don. It's such a cheap crutch for everybody.
53-47 cut his fat ass onto the final. But a surprise. It will not be up against another yelling Don, because guess what?
You know what?
Griffin is into the final of Drop Madness. You know what versus Cut His Fat You Know What. And we'll do it all on Monday, the same day as the Men's National Championship. That will do it for ENN, brought to you by our friends over at Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Dodge Jeep Power Shop deal.
That's a wrap on the show for today and this week. For all of us here on the Michael K. Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you Monday at 3 o'clock.